should be good.
Oh, looks like my my video's frozen already.
Oh, that's a good start. That's a really good start.
Yeah, I frozen time.
Oh,
Luna.
whoa. Yeah. What's funny is, you freeze and unfreeze based on if I have the Skype window minimized or maximized.
What?
What kind of bullshit is that?
That's not right, man. That's not right. Audio problems.
What is
video
going
problems?
On? Yeah, sorry guys. We've been struggling with audio issues for the last half hour, which is why we're not quite as early as we'd like to be. But yeah, it seems like it freeze and unfreeze Jay on demand.
No freezing. No freezing.
As you can see on your screen.
Oh man, stop freezing me.
What? This is horrible because I usually have Skype minimized so I can see the news doc. I don't have enough monitors to do this properly. Oh my gosh. What a joke, man. What a joke.
I don't know what you're doing, man. Don't know what you're doing. But anyway, Vizkey, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime subscription. 17 months in a row, man. Really appreciate that, dude.
Oh my golly gee. Oh man. I kind of just want to like close Skype and reopen it. Oh man, what did I mean, I guess I could just I guess I can. Oh no, I can't do that. Crap. I have
what
to have.
What are you trying to do?
Well, I was trying to just make the window really small, but that affects how big you are on screen. It's like I can't do that. I have to have Skype open, which isn't necessarily a big problem, but it means I'm not going to be able to see the news doc at all during the stream. I have all the stuff open. I have like the news viewer stuff all sorted out, so I can see like the topics there. But yeah, you might be handling the news doc a little bit more than usual, since I won't be able to see it.
Which is interesting because I hear you and then I see you do it on screen about 10 seconds later. So that's gonna be interesting.
I wonder if I can. Hold on. Let me see if I can just cancel the delay entirely. Try to get it as small as possible. Sorry, guys. I know we're not really on time here per se, but
cool. While you're saying that, I'll catch up with chat.
Yeah, things are going.
Apparently I'm louder than you as well. Starson's saying that my volume's louder than yours.
Okay, like that's an easy fix. Give me a second.
Nice. And we've got McMillan in as well. Hey man, good to see you.
Alright, let us know how that volume is. I just lowered Jay by a full 9 decibels.
9 decibels.
Yeah. Or roughly about 25%. Let us know how the audio levels are now, guys.
Now Jay's more quiet. Okay, is that too far you passed? Is he dropped me down too far?
Okay. Let me change it. How about that, guys?
How about this? How's this?
Oh my god, I'm trying to do way too many things at once.
Okay, you just concentrate on the video first. Let's get that sorted, and then we can sort the volumes out afterwards. They can just about hear me.
This is a freaking nightmare.
Yeah, well, I thought I'd got it bad because I've got an echo, guys. So at the minute I'm hearing myself twice. I hear myself, and then I hear myself again about 4 seconds later, and we can't quite work out where that loop's coming from. So, yeah.
Yeah, we've been fighting with technical difficulties for the better part of the last half hour. So I apologize for being late, guys. We'll start soon.
Yeah. Blammy Boy saying that the volumes are good now, so thank you very much, dude.
Volumes are good? Okay.
Yeah. Macmillan says, can we turn up the British accent on Quakems, please?
At the moment, no. I'm too busy freaking out trying to figure out where I even adjust the freaking stream delay.
Pooch Sag with the 7 months in a row Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you very much, dude. Really appreciate that, man. Thank you very much for the support.
Heck yeah, thank you. Why?
We're going to get there, guys. I promise he will sort this out. He will get there. I have faith in him. Every faith.
Okay, wait, here we go. Duration. I can drop it to 0 seconds. I don't know if this is gonna work in real time. I'm really hoping it does, though.
It might do. If you let me know when that's done, I'll refresh the stream on my screen, and then we'll see how much.
Go ahead and Oh wait, hold on.
Oh, I've already refreshed now.
Okay. How does it look?
Let me. It's just loading in. Okay, so if I wave now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds. So it's better. It's not 10. It's 7 now. We've lost 3 seconds. So that's good enough. We'll be fine with it.
Well, I have it set to 0, so 7's not too far off.
It just takes 7 seconds to get around the world. That's what it is. In the wrong way around.
Okay, hold on. Let me try it again.
Right, refreshing now. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 seconds. We've got another second off. There you go.
Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's just incrementally getting better. I don't know.
maybe. Who knows?
I have it set to 0 seconds. So
what I'll do is I'll give it a couple of minutes until we've done the intro and stuff like that, and after the bot's pinged and everything, and then I'll refresh it again, and we'll see where we get to.
All right. Sorry, guys. This is kind of a nightmare. All right, so we got audio levels good. Jay has some audio issues on his end, but we're just gonna fight through it, basically.
We'll get there, guys. Yeah. We'll get there. And the bot's pinged now, so we're all good, Brian. We're all good.
Okay. Let me
Mr. Petro says, "Is this Sesame Street?" Yeah, it's brought to you by the number X and the letter 4.
Fizkey and Poochsag both subbing with Twitch Prime. Thank you very much, guys. And the Sweaty Yeti coming in hot with his signature 250 bits, including lots of shamrocks.
Thank you.
And mountain blocks with 261. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Appreciate that.
And we've got A. Holland saying, "What's up?" One of the EU crew. Hey, man. Good to see you, dude.
Just for my curiosity, refresh your page again and see if that delay is any different.
Okay. I think there was a sub just came up just as I refreshed.
Yeah, it's fine. 159 just said with the tier 1 sub. Thank you very much, my dude.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 seconds now. We're about 5 seconds. It's getting better. It is getting better.
Why is it changing so slowly? Oh my gosh.
Let's give it 10 minutes and then I'll refresh it and we'll see where we're up to.
Oh my gosh. Talisman Solutions donates 1,111 bits, as usual. Thank you very much, sir. And Blue Note just subs with Twitch Prime. Very nice. Thank you.
6 months as well, man. Thanks, dude.
Heck yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna move forward. Hopefully everything goes smoothly. We're gonna do this. This is like OG Top Clack shit right here, guys. Where like everything goes wrong. And, like, you try to fix stuff, and, like, nothing really can be fixed. But, that's just the, change the delay to -5. Can I actually go negative?
No, maybe I'll go back in time, so I'll be
I'm gonna try to go negative. Oh, I can! Hold on.
Wow.
Why am I even able to do that? How is that a thing?
It's gonna show the stream before you've recorded it.
That makes sense, yeah. I just changed it to -5, so maybe try it again and see what happens.
Right, okay. Refresh you now. Okay. So, we've still got a little bit. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's still about 5 seconds. It's good enough. 5 seconds I can cope with.
All right. Well, apparently we can't go back in time like I was really hoping for. But anyway, we're gonna start this show. So I'm gonna hit you guys with the intro real quick. All right, guys. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Top Clack, and we apologize for the delay. But hopefully it was worth it, and hopefully we have a good episode for you guys today. I am your host, Quakums, here with my co-host, Jay, and we're going to talk about keyboards. It's gonna be a good time, as usual.
Wait, this isn't a car show?
Well, we can dabble in cars. I mean, the name was taken from a car show, kind of. it's an homage to Top
exactly.
Gear, of course. One of the greatest shows to ever be on television.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so we've been having some technical difficulties for a little bit now, and hopefully we move past some of them, and we're just gonna kind of go on with it. So
yeah, we're just gonna crack on and live with the technical difficulties.
Yep. So strap yourselves in. We're gonna make the jump to Lightspeed and talk about some keyboards. But first, we're gonna start off with a little bit of a mail call in traditional Talk Clack fashion. So what did you get this week, Jay? Any cool keyboard-related items?
I did get a few things, yeah. First of all, what came earlier on this week was a massive stab delivery. So I've got about 5 sets of stabilizers from Fax, our good old EU vendor for stabilizers, which is really good. Then I also got a couple of hundred Bayer switches, the new green match switches, so they all arrived early on this week too. I got 90 tangerines. Gotta love them tangies. And then I got a couple of interesting things. So Nachi was kind enough from the Top Clack server to send me a couple of artisans through, including one he sculpted himself. The first one he sent me was a little one with an ISO enter on, which I thought was quite cute. That's really nice of him. And then the second one, I'll try and get this to focus. I'm not sure how well it will do. This is his sculpt, which is a little sheep's head. I'm not quite sure of the name of the sculpt, but it's quite pretty, quite cute. And then finally, I got a bit of a jerk gift from some friends. So Matt, Advice Guy, if you're watching, thank you very much for these. He sent me 2 little PCBs, and they're called the Ice Hole. So if you can read that, it might be back to front. So instead of it being the ISO board, it's Ice Hole board. So I've got 2 of these, but what happens is you can put 4 ISO keys around, and they have like a hole in the center, so they kind of.
Oh my god!
And it's kind of like a little ISO macro pad, which I think is really cool. So I'm going to build one of these in the next couple of weeks and give it a try and try and have some shenanigans with that. But yeah, thought that was cool. And that's about it.
That is so you. I want to see pictures when that's done.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably do it on stream as like a little aside after I finish the build or something in the next couple of weeks, and figure out some clever way of using it.
All right, awesome. Talisman is asking if I'm sporting some new eyeglass frames. I'm actually not. These are the same ones I've had for a couple years now. As far as mail call on my end, I didn't really get a whole lot this week. I did get my GMK white on black, which I'm using on my black Tokyo 60 Proto, which is very nice.
Oh,
I got the KBD fans 6X RGB testing out in there, and that's doing it pretty well, as you can see.
Those RGBs look fantastic.
Yeah, I'm liking it a lot. Got some lubed Helios in there. So GMK white on black, absolutely love it. I'm a sucker for really simple sets like that, as a lot of you know, and I like very inexpensive GMK sets, and this was one of them. So happy about that. Must be a haircut? No, I need to get a haircut. My hair is looking wild, man. I don't like when my hair gets this long.
Same, I need to shave as well.
Definitely
something I need to do this week.
I need to spend some quality time with my barber, both hair and beard. Anyways, in an effort to keep things relatively reasonably timed today, we're just going to move straight into the news doc now.
Not a 3-hour stream like last week, then, no?
Yeah, just a quick... I'll mention this again towards the end of the stream, but just a quick heads up. I do plan to do a build stream tonight after the show, after this show, guys. So it'll actually be my first Topra stream, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to be building up a Norba Force. I'm going to be lubing it. I got some BKE domes I'm going to be putting in it. It's going to be a good time. It's probably going to be a decently length stream. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to stay tuned after the show. And I will be here doing that. But for now, let's get back to the topics at hand. Bam, bam, bam. And I can't even see the news doc. It's amazing. But let's head right into the news, guys. And Jay's going to be kind of taking the lead on this one.
Okay. Well, there we go. That's the first link into chat. So the first thing we've got up on here is the group buy for the Alpha 28 PCB and subsequent kits. So this is a tiny little Alphas only board. It's really cute. I think it looks fantastic. In terms of the specs off the top of this one, it's a $30 kit. It includes a PCB, Pro Micros, It's got a two-piece case, plate and plate and bottom, so it kind of screws to the plate, so it's a floating plate design. You get all your screws and standoffs, all your diodes, a single stabilizer for your 2U key at the bottom, and an RGB LED strip for underglow as well. I think this looks quite cute. I'm not sure if I'd find it usable, but it looks great for a little travel board.
I can't imagine ever using a board like this. This is kind of reminiscent for me of the what was it called? Do you remember the Pain 27? I think it was called.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Which was just your your alphas, or not even all your alphas, just your your letters, and then like a normal 6.25 spacebar, and then that was it. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
And it was called the Pain 27. Rightly so, I imagine. Not that I ever used one, but I'm sure it would be relatively painful. And this,
I never tried one either.
This kind of reminds me of that, like having your space bar in between V and B. Like, there's no way this is like an easy board to use or a fun board to use. Although, something that I've been kind of trying to play around with for a while is trying to find a board that I can use with one hand, just my left hand. So,
okay.
So really quick and odd backstory. Like, I used to have I lived in a house many years ago, and I had my PC set up next to my bed because I didn't really have the space to have like a desk like set up anywhere with like a chair. So I had my PC next to my desk, and like I would use it by laying down and using my left hand on the keyboard for like the mouse and stuff, like all the time. Like I'd just be watching stuff and typing whatever, and I would just use my left hand. Like I got pretty good at it, honestly.
What were you doing with your right hand at the time?
Oh, it would I'd be laying on my side, so it would be
okay.
So use your imagination, obviously. Joke's on you, Jay. I'm left-handed, but
well.
But anyways, I got really adept at using just my left hand on like a keyboard, and I thought it'd be kind of interesting to have some kind of miniature layout, maybe even something like this per se, that I can just use with one hand, quickly, conveniently, just for normal typing, nothing too intensive.
That makes sense, yeah.
This actually could be something that kind of fits that bill. So
yeah, if you don't need any punctuation or anything other than just letters, yeah, I think it could be fine. And I will say what my favourite part about this is, and it's the PCB. On the bottom, it's got too many keys on it, and I really think that's funny for a board that's only got 28 keys on it. I really like that.
Yeah,
that little attention to detail, that's really good.
This is pretty adorable, honestly. And
for $30, I'm tempted to just grab one.
Yeah,
it's quite cute and quite fun.
The price is so low. Like, you get a full kit, it's on switches, of course, for $30. It's kind of like a fun novelty. If it were Christmas, I'd say it'd be a fun or funny stocking stuffer for someone.
Yeah, for sure. And Chris is saying it's called layers, Jay. What key do you use to select a layer? Because you've got a space bar and you've got your alphas, and that's it. So unless you had it and tap and hold.
Yeah, I was about to say you'd probably
do anything else. Yeah, you'd have to do tap and hold, but that's going to be awkward.
Yeah, like maybe your space bar could be your FN if you hold it.
Yeah. So you have tap for space and hold for FN, and maybe put some other things on there.
Yeah.
It would be a steep learning curve, I suspect.
It'd be a nightmare for me, probably, but other people are way better at typing than I am. So, anyways,
Talisman said, "I'll buy it if to put an ISO key on it." Well, maybe, yeah. That's not always how it works, but yeah, maybe.
So, $30 gets you a full kit there, as Jay mentioned. Shipping, pretty normal for stuff in the U.S. at least. So you get $8 priority shipping in the U.S. and a little bit more expensive from there on out. If you're in the rest of the world, aside from U.S. or Canada, and you want priority, then it's more expensive than the kit itself. But
yeah, so if I get one of these, it's going to come to you, Brian, and you can ship it on to me.
Yep, easy peasy. All right, so that is the group buy for the Alpha 28 PCB and kit. Make sure to jump in on that if you want. I actually don't know when it closes. I don't think he has a date. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It closes the 28th. My apologies. So 4 days from now.
Yeah, end of the month. Cool.
So there you go. Next up, we have the interest check for the Satisfaction 75, which is a really interesting name, but I didn't understand it at first until I actually read through the thread. So why don't you take us through this board, since you probably know a little bit more about it.
The first thing I want to say is I'm psyched for this. I've been talking to UPass about it, and board looks fantastic, and his little guide they put up the other day was fantastic as well. So just to run down the specs on this one, it's a 75% with kind of one of those exploded CA66 style layouts where the arrows and the keys are kind of offset from the main function. It's got an OLED screen in the top right-hand corner with a real-time clock and a rotary encoder that has a ton of functionality that's in a little guide video that UPass has done as well. VIA support as well as QMK, so you can actually control it all through VIA. It's using an ARM microprocessor, south-facing backlit LEDs, burger mount, so it's an O-ring on the screws that join the plate to the top case. A 6-degree slope, aluminium top and bottom, FR4 or brass plate, and brass weight. So yeah, I think this is looking fantastic. It's got pretty much everything it needs. Now, one of the things I am really interested in, and I didn't start this conversation before anyone points a finger at me, but there was quite a lot of people concerned it was a 75% ANSI only board, and he did apologise in the original IC saying it was sorry to the EU folks, but he mentioned to me the other day that he's actually considering putting ISO onto the board, so I'm really interested in that as well. That kind of was the cherry on the top of the cake for me on that one.
Very nice. A little extra support there. So he does actually have a physical prototype of which I'm showing pictures now. So pretty cool. He's doing an interest check and he has a physical prototype in hand. Not always easy to do, but we always like seeing it. So that way we can get a little bit more idea of the actual finished product. So pretty awesome stuff here. I think the rotary encoder is definitely interesting. I think that's kind of starting to become a little bit more of a thing in our community. What do you feel about that? Like, what would you use that for? And do you think that this is like something that like really benefits the community?
I think, yeah, I kind of like it. I think it's unique, it's interesting, it's something a little bit different. I know it's been tried on a couple of other boards before, and it's not really taken off that well. My view on it is that, you know, it's got a lot of uses, especially for volume and that kind of stuff. I think it'd be quite useful in things like Photoshop as well. You could use the rotary encoder for some Photoshop settings and things like that. I think that'd be quite useful. If you can understand what menu you've got in context. Don't know how powerful QMK is on the front. But yeah, I just think it's going to be, it's a little bit kitsch, a little bit different, unique, and that just draws me straight into it.
Yeah, certainly. It is a very nice looking board. I like his, this is kind of obscure, but I like his obsession with like the whole cannon thing.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got if you guys can't really see, I'm trying to angle it right on stream for you guys a little bit. So down here in this this corner, he's got a little cannon kind of engraved there. And so if you're unaware of the backstory there, he is the owner of the soon-to-be launching store Cannon Keys. So maybe that's like a little bit of a branding for him, basically. And if you're curious on the name, like I was, the Satisfaction was Pirate Captain Henry Morgan's flagship. And that's Captain Morgan's rum.
From the rum, yeah.
Yeah. So pirates participated in naval warfare, so they used cannons. Pretty easy to understand. So he likes cannons, and bam, you have a cannon on here. What about the LED screen? It says it can be used as like a real-time clock. What other kind of functionality can we expect from that and see people using?
Yeah, so I was looking through his video as well. So he's got volume up and down, scrolling for the mouse wheel as well. So you can do, I think you can do left and right and up and down the pages as well. So it's almost like a page up and page down. I think you can do the backlight as well. So how bright and dim the backlight as well on the board. So all sorts of different functions with that little encoder. So yeah, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, awesome. I like this. I think this kind of goes like under noted, but check out the design here on this side. So he's got like the weight on the bottom, and then he's got kind of what looks to be like an Aquaria side profile, really similar to that. Kind of have that slope back here. But I like this section here that I'm showing on stream right now. This little kind of this little gap here, I think from the back looks really, really elegant, and I really like that a lot.
Yeah, I kind of see what you mean. That curve is quite nice, making the board easy to pick up as well. And I kind of like that it moves over to the flat bottom as well. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's a good accent piece to the stylistic choice on the side of the case. For sure.
So the expected price, says he wants to keep it under $400, which for a board of this kind of quality and features, I would say is pretty good. You know, most of the time we're going to be spending upwards of $450 on this kind of product generally anyways. So If he can keep it under $400, more power to him. That would be freaking awesome. The interest check itself is really, really, really well laid out. He has like a ridiculous amount of information, easily accessible stuff, and he's got a little edit section here, which helps out a lot.
Yeah, and I think the fact that he calls out some of the people who've helped him out in the community. So you've got Ishtob, who did the Hadron that we spoke about a couple of weeks ago, Tez, AIO3, Heine as well, Pingu, Yankar, Wilbur, and Olivia, all sorts of people he just calls out and then says thank you to. It's really nice to see that he's managed to collate a lot of people from the community, bring people together. They've helped him collaborate on the design, and it's just been a bit of a nice end-to-end project. I think it's just really nice to see that.
Yeah. So we'll have to look forward to this. I mean, based on the information he has and the fact that he already has a prototype, this is going to be running. Sure, still show interest for it, of course, and give him your feedback, but definitely expect this to run.
Yeah, I think he's got a 3D prototype I was reading earlier on as well that's due to come this week, so it'll be interesting to see how version 1 is different to version 2 and what the revisions are as well, and how well they work out.
Alright, so keep your eyes open for that group buy, guys. Next up, we have the interest check for the number 2 Helix Split Ortho keyboard. So, calling it the number 2, I think, was kind of funny to a lot of people, because people were kind of making a joke, a meme about it, saying it's the sequel to the number 1, which is, as we know, a TKL, a very high-end gasket mount TKL from Keycult, and this is obviously a very different product. So people were having a laugh at that. But
one of the interesting things on this as well is it's EU only, so there's no option for outside of the EU, which I can understand. Sometimes it's not easy to ship outside of the EU, but I can imagine that there's going to be some people outside there that would like to buy this and would like to have it available. So I'm not sure if there's anything that he could do to work with the vendor or pick that up. But yeah, it is interesting that he's only chosen to retail it in the EU.
Yep. So just a little bit of info on this. As you can see, it's kind of a split ortho affair. And there are LED screens on this too, which, apparently becoming a little bit more popular.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty interesting stuff there. Here's all the info. I'm not going to go through all the info because there's a lot of info in this post. But the price has been dropped and is now estimated at £25 per kit.
Just to be clear, a kit's only one side. You need to buy 2 kits to get the both sides of it effectively. So you could buy 1 kit and use it as a macro pad, but you have to buy 2 if you want.
Yeah, or like a left-handed gaming pad. That could be cool too.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, about £50 per full keyboard with $5 UK shipping £5 UK shipping and £10. I'm not used to all these different currencies, man.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, so what's £50 is what, $65 ish, something like that.
Yeah, it's about $65, so not too terrible. Mr. Petrov, thank you very much for that tier 1 sub, my friend, 3 months in a row. Bam.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so interest check for this, but this is another one of those situations where this interest check seems informative enough and he's ready enough that this is certainly going to be running.
Yeah, and Hell's Janitor is quite well known within the EU community as well. I've seen him around a few times, so I think he's fairly well respected, and I don't think anyone has any worries with him running a group buy like this.
Cool. Good to know.
Mr. Petrov with the bits as well. How many's that?
Holy crap, that's a lot.
3, 4, 5, 1,500 bits. Thank you very much, dude. Appreciate it, man.
Oh, nice, man. Thank you very much for that, sir. Appreciate that. All right, what do we have up next, Jay?
The next, we have the new Ocelot macro pad from Singa. Now, this actually went on sale earlier on this evening, and full disclosure, I did buy one because they look amazing. So this is a 8-key macro pad called the Ocelot. PCB is being designed by Wilbur. It's got a 3mm integrated plate and a 4mm base plate, which is made of brass, which has got the Ocelot logo engraved onto it as well. I think it looks fantastic. It comes in some really, really good colour selections from pink to red, grey, blue, and black. I think the red's called Velvet, actually. So yeah, it looks fantastic. I think this is a really interesting little macro key.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting, honestly. I'm not going to lie, I am not a big fan of it. I don't really care for the way it looks.
Really? Okay,
But
that's interesting.
Yeah,
that's like a almost. I kind of like that.
Yeah, I might be the only one. I have seen a lot of people already buy these. Seems like a very neat product. A lot of people are definitely interested in. PCB looks great, designed by Wilba. Nothing but praise for him from me. So, yeah, it looks like a pretty neat product. The price, I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's a macro pad, and I'm sure it's priced well as as well as it can be. But for me, spending that much on a macro pad would be a little tough. But then again, I'm also not someone that necessarily needs a macro pad. Sure.
No, I'd agree. It is a little bit on the higher side. I was expecting more closer to the $100 mark when this was announced a couple of months ago. I wasn't too put off by the price, but I can see why some people would be. It's probably a little bit on the high side, but again, you're getting a lot for your money here. You're getting a board that's designed by Singa, who's been partnered with TGR in the past. It's got all of that Wilbur goodness inside of it, and USB-C, VIA compatible as well, or VIA compatible. So, I can see why the price is up there, but I can see why some people would be slightly disappointed it's as high as it is.
Yeah, the specs are definitely nothing to laugh at. They're pretty nice. So, it's going to be a macro pad that has effectively a brass bottom by the looks of it.
Yeah, effectively, yeah.
So
it's 360 grams, which is pretty heavy for something so small. It's pretty damn heavy.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, cool. So it looks like they still have some in stock, or at least I'm able to add it to my cart.
Yes. So Elaine did mention to me earlier on there was 11 or 12 pink ones, and then about 25 each of the other colours, 22 to 25 depending on which colour you wanted. So it looks like there is still some stock of all of those left. I think looking through quickly, I think they're all still in stock.
So get the pink to be extra special.
I went for the velvet.
Velvet, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, not bad. I like the pink though. I need the exclusivity. If something is more limited units, that's the one I want.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's cool.
Which is a terrible way of living, but it is what it is. So if you're into macro pads, make sure to give this a look before it sells out. And we will move on to I'm assuming it's Georgie.
Yeah, the Georgie. Yeah, a 20% keyboard, which is incredibly small. So this is a Steno pocket keyboard. I don't really know much about Steno. I know that I've never tried it, but it's got some interesting specs. So let's just go through this first. So it comes fully assembled. So it's a kit where it's all been soldered together. It's all ready for use. It's got 20-gram ultralight springs installed in Kailh chock linears. Now that just sounds insanely light. That sounds like almost resting on them is going to actuate these keys, especially considering they're a bit short travel than a normal MX key as well. With that, it also comes with some white keycaps, a blue PCB. You can use the left hand without the right, so they can be used independently if you just want as a macro pad. And it's also QMK compatible as well.
Yeah, I'm aware of Steno. I more or less get how it works. And I get that, professionals, like professional users of Steno, people, in courtrooms and stuff like that actually use this on a day-to-day basis can manage, with north of 200-300 words per minute.
Yeah, it's way above 5, I think.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, crazy, yeah.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be extreme one way or the other. Tectonic Plate is saying 847 words per minute, which sounds absolutely mad to me.
I can't even think that fast. Never mind do anything else.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, exactly. I can't assemble the characters in my head that fast. But yeah, like you mentioned, 20-gram ultralight springs. Wow, 20-gram springs. Yeah. That is nuts.
I'm almost surprised that the keycaps aren't actuating the switches at that.
I've never actually watched like a Steno typer, so I'm not really entirely sure if there's like a special technique aside from just the layout and using it as intended. But maybe with switches that light, you don't even really need to press. You kind of just graze the keycap, and it actuates the character. which actually kind of works on a lot of speed switches that we have in the community now. So maybe it's similar to that in iteration potentially, and you can just really crank out the words per minute by like not even really pressing keys almost.
Yeah, just gliding over the surface almost. Yeah. Someone said in the chat that you Boy314 is saying Steno is like playing the piano. You need to press multiple switches at once and have even multiple keys per finger. Okay, that's interesting. And Mr. Petrov says 10,000 bits if Brian learns Steno and hits 200 words per minute.
Oh man,
there's a challenge. 24-hour stream. I know what you're going to be doing for at least a couple of hours.
It would take me so long. 10,000 bits. 10,000 bits that's a lot of bits. That's $100.
That's a ton of bits.
So that would cover the cost of me having to buy this. With shipping probably. So I wouldn't really be benefiting much from this, other than I know Steno in theory.
And you'd have a Steno board, so there you go.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to learn Steno just to try to get that 1,000 or 10,000 bits. That could be worth it.
Mountain Blocks is going to add 5,000 to that as well, so there you go. That's your profit. That's your incentive off the top.
You guys are crazy. Do I actually have to do this? Do I actually have to learn Steno?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Oh my god.
Who else is matched? You're at 20k now. There you go. 20,000 bits.
Oh man. Happen, do I have to do this? Do I have to do it with this kit? Can I potentially find a cheaper kit? Or a different kit at the very least? I need... What is... Okay, so this kit, for reference, is $75. What does that $75 get you? It looks like...
It gets you a fully assembled board with keycaps.
Fully assembled board with keycaps and switch. Okay, so that's actually pretty reasonable. Oh, man. 30k now? You guys are insane, man. Do I have a timeline on this?
There you go.
I might actually do this. That's a lot of money, guys.
Talisman as well, another 5k bits. Okay, you guys are going to have to put your money where your mouth is on this one, because Brian's seriously considering it now.
That's a lot of money for Top Clack. All right, I guess I'm gonna buy one of these.
Yeah, 24-hour build stream, and at least 2 of those hours are going to be Brian learning.
Oh
Steno.
Man, I'll have to find something that I have to find Steno for beginners or something that teaches me how to use it.
Yeah, for sure. There must be one of these keyboard typing websites where you can learn something like that. There must be.
Yeah, I am so slow at learning stuff like this too. Like this, I couldn't even handle Ortho linear for more than a couple days.
Man, I couldn't learn this. I know I couldn't do it. Yeah.
Do I have a timeline to hit this? I don't know how long it's going to take me to get to 200 plus words per minute.
You've got as much time on the 24-hour stream as you need, man.
You guys. I don't think I could learn to type Steno and get that many words per minute in 24 hours. That seems pretty tough. I don't know. You guys are crazy. We're gonna potentially revisit this because that's pretty good.
We'll chat about it in the Discord afterwards. But yeah, I think we should make Brian do this, guys. Let's make this happen.
I'll try. Yeah, I mean, the worst case scenario, I don't get the bits and I'm out $75. It's not the end of the world. Are these ready to ship now?
I don't think it says actually. I'm not sure if it says.
You guys would just be laughing the entire time watching me try to learn. It would be ridiculously awful.
Oh, so the designs are being sent off to fabrication. Once parts are in, we'll start fulfilling orders. So it's not far away.
Okay. Calm Data 55 says you're going to have to actually use your pinkies. Anybody that's watched a typing video of mine knows that I subscribe to the when in doubt, pinkies out theory. And clearly I'm always in doubt when I'm typing, because I almost never use my pinkies. I do not type properly, traditionally. So...
the Pokemon kid is saying as well, you need a forfeit if you don't manage to do it.
We need a forfeit if he doesn't do it?
Yeah, forfeit if you fail to do it.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I think I need some kind of timeline here, because either I can do it or I can't within that specific time. If I have forever, then yeah, I can probably figure it out. But
Sure. Okay, well, this is a challenge, and Mr. Petrov, this was your idea. You need to come up with the rules. You need to define the challenge. Get it up in the Discord, and we'll make it happen.
yeah, we can't talk about it too long for now, guys. But this definitely is something that we could do. It seems like a lot of fun. I mean, you guys, donating bits is cool. New product is cool. Me trying to learn something wildly different from what I'm used to could be embarrassing but fun to watch. So we'll someone set that up in the Discord, and we'll talk more about it. But we won't spend too much more time talking about it right now because we want to try to get through this news doc in a timely fashion.
Absolutely, I can't be having another 5 a.m. going to bed with work the next day.
Yeah. So the next up, we have an interest check for SA Magic City by Garrett Sucks, which is Dixie Mech, if you weren't aware. So he's going to be running. Yep, he's going to be running SA Magic City, which is a little homage to his hometown of Birmingham, Alabama. He has a little story of why it's called that. I'm not going to read it all, but if you want to check it out, there it is. And he's got some pretty nice looking renders, honestly. Yeah,
the renders look really, really sharp, and I kind of like the colours as well on this one. It's an interesting colourway, kind of creamy alphas with black legends and mods, and then the red axe keys just really set it off nicely. I think it looks really good. Yeah, very classic looking set.
Yeah, not too shabby. I'm not the biggest fan of SA, so I probably won't be getting it, but I do appreciate the colors, and I always like when a set actually has like a story, a theme, like a vision behind it instead of just, colors thrown against the wall.
So, yeah, for sure. Yeah. A couple of people in chat mentioned it looks like GMK Zeppelin in SA instead. I kind of get that. Yeah, I do get that vibe from it. It does kind of look that way, yeah. But I think it looks really good. I think the set's nice. There's a fair amount of compatibility, not a massive amount. I mean, you've got enough to cover a HHKB or a full-size TKL. 65% as well is managed in there. I'm not quite sure if it would do an 1800. Yeah, it would. No, yeah, it would. Yeah, it would do an 1800 as well. And it's a fully sculpted key set, so it's all the rows rather than an all R3 set. So, yeah, I think it looks good.
Yep. And like mentioned, it is a double shot ABS set by Signature Plastics, and it is the 112343 sculpt, which is fairly traditional, if I'm not mistaken. And this is kind of interesting to see an SA set run like this. So he's kind of taking more of the GMK approach and just being like, here's a base kit that covers a bunch of stuff, as opposed to what we're used to seeing with Signature Plastics sets where there's 800,000 different kits broken down. And, pros and cons to each, of course, but he's trying to keep things a little bit more simple here and just offer one singular base kit.
Completely respect that. And he's just messaged in into the chat as well. So he's posted a comparison image of comparing it to Led Zepp and 1965. Tell us where that is, Dixie, and we'll get it up on the screen. And he's also made some updates to the kit too for better compatibility. So we'll have to have a look at that live.
Yep.
But yeah, it looks really good. I think the set looks really good. I think the colours work really well. It's really classic looking. The renders look fantastic. They look really good.
Yeah, absolutely. I like what's going on here, and I like Dixie Mech. He's a nice dude. He's shooting for a group buy price under $160, which for Signature Plastics SA set is well within your range of normality here. This isn't necessarily expensive for a Signature Plastics set. So cool stuff there. A little Google Doc if you want to show your interest. So yeah, good luck to him on that.
I think he's just posted up the image that's comparing the two sets as well. Don't know if you want to take a look at that, Brian.
I will. Oh, that makes it a lot easier. There we go. There's a little comparison for you guys.
Yeah, okay, so it is very similar to the GMK Led Zepp, a little bit darker, a little bit more muted. I think it looks great. I think the colours work really well. Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah, same. Alright, so good luck to you on that, Garrett. Sticking with the SA theme, next up we have Massdrop X Data SA Danger Zone. Highway to the Danger Zone. So this is not the first time Danger Zone has been run. This is kind of a set that's been around for a while in SA, to be totally honest. And this is, I think this is the second run. I don't think it's the third.
It is, yes. It's the second run.
Okay.
It is slightly different from the first round. So in the first round, it was all SAR3, so it was Raw 3 profile all across the board. Whereas this one is sculpted, so it is slightly different to the original run. But in terms of the colours, the key colour codes, they're all the same, and the rest of the kits are identical as far as I can tell as well. So yeah, it was a popular set back in the day. I've got a set from the original run. I like the colourway. I like the Top Gun theme. I like the novelties. I think the novelties are fantastic. So, yeah, I'm in for it.
Trying to find the novelties real quick.
It's when I call them the novelties, it's they're all text ones right at the bottom. It's the Wingman kit. Yeah, so they've got all interesting pilot type.
Which, for the record, are my favorite kind of novelties. Text novelties are the best novelties.
Fuel Dump is such a good key.
Fuel Dump. I like Worn Tone.
Canopy Jettison as well. They're just such cool. They're so cool.
God. I like Oxy Reg too. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Payload Release. Payload Release.
Some really, really good novelties.
I want to buy the set just so I can use the Wingman kit.
Yeah, just grab the Wingman kit. Yeah, just get that. Yeah. So interestingly, it does come in kits. There's this one, so like you were saying on the last one, Brian, where Dixie's put it all together in one big base kit. This kind of has multiple different kits to make it up. So you need to buy the alphas, the modifiers, and then maybe the numpad or the ISO kit or whatever else you want. Aerodocs, however you need to put it together to make it lay out for your board. But it does mean that you can probably build it a little bit easier rather than buying a kit with keys in it you don't use.
Yep. Certainly. So here's a little breakdown of where they're at right now during the set. Set has 1 week left. Yeah, it has 1 week left before it closes. Here's where they're at right now. They're probably not going to make the 500 MOQ for alphas and modifiers, but anything's possible.
Yeah. I don't think it will. I think it'll likely most of the kits are going to stay where they are. If any of them are going to move, it's maybe the numpad, but I don't see that happening. I don't see getting another 75. The specialties might hit 100, and then the rest of the kits will probably stay broadly where they are, I think. But Wingman might just tip over. The novelties might tip over. There's no price break at that point.
So it looks like the Wingman needs to hit 75 to even be ran.
Yeah, that's the base number for it, yeah.
So that's not even there yet, and that's the best part of this set.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Wingman kit make it through. I think it will do. It's in the end of January. It's going to run past everyone's payday over the next week or so. I think it'll get.
A lot of people like to wait until the end to order stuff like this anyways, so...
Absolutely, yeah.
Hopefully we can get there. So there you go. Join in the next week if you're interested in that.
Absolutely.
This next topic is a little controversial.
Yes, I would agree.
But it's still kind of... It's almost a discussion point unto itself. So let's talk a little bit about this. This is the interest check for GMK Paper.
Just before we do, Mountain Blocks has gifted a tier 1 sub as well. So thank you very much for that, dude.
2 thumbs up. These are big thumbs, too.
Big thumbs. Big boy.
That's right. So this is interest check for GMK Paperwork, done by Evangs, otherwise known as the Van Man, the man behind the minivan and related products, very popular in the community. And he's trying an approach that I think he's tried before, and I'm not ever really sure how well it works out for him. I feel like it's always been kind of hit or miss, but he's essentially running a GMK set here, and here is the cap breakdown. As you can see, it pretty much only supports 2 layouts. It supports the minivan, which is his flagship product, and it supports Plonk, which is arguably one of, if not the most popular 40% boards in the community. And that's it. Yeah. That is your compatibility. Yeah. So kind of interesting there. I think he's been taking a little bit of flack from it because, people want compatibility.
So I've posted in this thread a couple of times, and I know a lot of other people have. I think it's been constructive criticism, that not necessarily people giving him flack. I don't think that's the fair way of looking at him. One of the bigger challenges he's got as well, it's not just the kit size, it's the fact that he's got 13 custom colours in here as well that aren't GMK colours, which is kind of a lot to take into a set in the first place. So we already know the MOQ is going to be high. It's going to be 250 minimum. potentially even higher. I don't think GMK's run a custom set with 13 different colours in before, so I'm not sure how they would take that. And the colours come from SP's library as well, which is quite interesting. He's taken colours from another company's product to bring into GMK, so that's kind of interesting. I think you're right, though. It will struggle with the fact that it's got such a limited layout. The key for me here is that he needs to increase the number of boards he can support and the number of layouts he can support. Even if he only takes it to 60% or TKL, he doesn't have to take it all the way and do a full-on base kit. I know he wants to keep the price down, but I suspect this won't meet MOQ the way it is at the moment, whereas if he had some more compatibility in there, get some more people interested in the set, get some, widens that base of potential buyers, he's got much more chance of making.
Yeah, certainly.
And to be honest, I like the set. I think the colours work.
It looks
the
good.
Look great. Yeah.
Yeah, like the set itself actually looks good. It's just, it's pretty limited on the compatibility. I'm always really curious to see if something like this is actually going to make it. I imagine, being the vendor that he is, he'll probably buy some of the stock himself to help meet MOQ.
Sure.
That's kind of how the community works now, but we don't know how much or if he's going to do that. So,
and he's kind of been a little bit absent from the threads as well since the criticism started happening. Even though there's some really constructive points in there, and some people who've run key sets before. I think I've seen Botsky and Zambumon and a few other people talking in this thread and trying to give him some advice. He seems to have gone a bit silent on, which I'm kind of interested to see what his thought process is now, what he's thinking about doing, how he's going to address that and come back to it as well. I'll be interested to see how that happens, because if you think about the numbers, I think he sold something like 600 Kumo boards, and there was about 300 from what I remember on Massdrop for the minivan. Realistically, if we say he's had double of that off his store, he's maybe got 2,000 boards sold somewhere in that sort of region. Miles off on the numbers. I'm just guessing.
It's probably way more than that, actually, because the minivan's been around for years. He's had multiple runs of that on and off Massdrop. He constantly sells in the store, like you mentioned, the Kumo, which has actually been really popular for what it is. And he's got a lot of boards out there, but is it enough? And not only is it enough, is there a high enough percentage of those people that are actually interested in the set? Because that's the second hurdle. Not only are your boards in the wild somewhat limited compared to other offerings, but you have to also be interested in the set as well as having one of those boards. And not everyone is. You can only assume, maybe 25% of people that own the boards are going to be interested in this kind of set, maybe.
I don't even think it'll be that. I mean, if you say he sold maybe 5,000, he'd need to, to make it 250. That'd be 1 in 20 people that's going to have to plump up the cash to buy the kit. Most companies would love a turnaround rate of, an engagement rate on their products of 2-3% in the real world. I'm not sure he's going to get that from the community, but I do kind of want to see the set work because I think it looks really good, or I think it could look really good. Which kind of leads me on to my last point. I'm not sure the renders actually show GMK caps, and I know that's what he's trying here, but I think the renders do need a little bit of work. I'm not quite sure that those legends actually look like GMK legends when I look at my board.
These are far from what looks like GMK legends. I'm looking down at my board right now, which also has GMK on it. So what's funny is the renders are actually good. It's just the cap and legend part of the renders could use a little bit of work. So I think that's definitely where it needs to be focused. It's a very fun render. This last one, he's got a box, he's got Sharpies everywhere, he's got a cup of coffee and paper clips. There's a coffee stain on the paper. There's detail in the renders, but they need to be in the right place. You gotta make sure you get those legends right. You gotta get the profiles just right to actually display that it's GMK. You want people to buy this set. You want to show what it's going to be looking like. So
if you compare this to the renders we saw of the Satisfaction 75 earlier on that's got GMK caps on it, there is a massive difference between between the quality of the keycap look on it. So and that's what we need to sell. We're not in 2014 when just a splash of colours and a KLE layout is enough to sell a key set anymore. The community demands renders. They want pretty boards and pretty pictures with keycaps looking good on them, and that's how people are going to sell these.
Yep. Absolutely. So in this thread here, there is no mention of price, which worries me a little bit. I'd like at least an estimate price, even if it's not accurate. I think an estimate price definitely can help give people an idea. 13 custom colors from Signature Plastics library. That's going to be really interesting to see how well and how quickly GMK can match that.
Yeah.
So
I don't even know if GMK have ever done more than, say, 5 colors in a custom set. I don't know what the limit they've done on anything is. I suspect it's probably something like GMK Oblivion, where they had all the different colors in the legends for the modifier keys.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they just simply could add 4 or 5 different keys and open it up to the rest of the 40%, the JD45 and things like that, and Pearl. So even that might help him to get close to MLQ. Just adding just a handful of keys to get more 40% on board.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with being like, here's a set, I want to support this category of boards. Like, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've seen it before. Stuff like GMK 3 Run was like a 60% only GMK set. Zombumon's upcoming GMK Hamon, the core kit, doesn't include full-size compatibility, stuff like that. He wants to keep the price down, so he's got to limit the keys. There's nothing necessarily wrong with doing that, but you gotta really make sure that you can get enough people in to buy something like this. And expanding to other 40%, like you just mentioned, Jay, is probably a good way to start doing that. It opens up your audience a lot more, because there's a lot of 40% out there. In Evan's defense, Minivan and Plonk, probably the most popular 40% on the market. Probably the 2 biggest. They've been around for a long time. Plonk basically started it all as far as 40% go.
Absolutely.
Minivan has been a hit since it launched. So, he's trying. We'll have to see if it works.
Yeah, and T3 does mention in the chat that there is one other set that's kind of set the bar for this, which was GMK Mondrian. That did make MOQ, that got produced, but that had way fewer colours, and I think it was Ortho only, wasn't it? It was Mondrian, I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure it was an Ortho only set. Ortho blanks, yeah.
Yeah. So, it has been done before, but this looks a little bit more complex. So I'm interested to see where he goes. I think he just needs to come back to the community, tell us what he's thinking, what's his take on what the feedback's been, and how's he going to carry that forwards.
Someone in chat, I like when people call me out when saying Plonk, because most people, hear it as Planck. but it's named after the physicist Planck, so I say Planck. And we've had the creator on the show a couple times now, and we ask him every time, and he says both ways are acceptable. So get out of here. I'm not wrong. Anyways, moving on. We'll have to see how the group buy actually goes when he actually launches this. So we'll see.
Yeah,
this is just an interest check. So maybe he's just trying to gauge interest here. Maybe he won't run it if he doesn't get enough interest. Who knows? All right, moving on. Sorry, guys. There's a guy with a motorcycle outside my apartment right now, apparently. Hopefully it's not too terribly loud. Anyways, moving on, we have a group buy on KBD fans for the Maxkey X Yorkchan, or Chan, 2600 SA keycap set. So, covered this in interest check a while back. It's been a little while.
Yeah.
And, now 2600 SA coming to a KBD fans near you. Tell us about it, Jay.
Yeah. So this is quite an interesting set. It's got multiple colours on there. It's quite bright. It's quite brash. It's got the blue, the yellow, the purple. I kind of like the look. I think it looks good. One of the really interesting things for me is that from the interest check, it had a load of kits, and all of those kits have made it into the group buy. The most interesting about that is historically Maxkey have not been able to support all of these kits. So there's a lot of keys in the non-standard kit, a lot of keys in the 40%, the Ergo and the ISO spaces that haven't been traditionally supported by Maxkey. But you can buy them here. So one of my big questions, which I've already reached out to Way to ask him, not having Yorkchan's details to catch hold of him, but I've reached out to Way to say, if this is Maxkey's, have they added those capabilities to their production run?
Sorry, I had to close my window. Oh man! All right. So yeah, lots of kits in this. I don't know if you had mentioned it while I got up to close my window, but it's pretty uncharacteristic of Maxkeys to launch a set with a bunch of different kits. They're usually kind of towards the GMK approach, where they like to do one base kit and like maybe one or two child kits. So here we have a lot more going on.
And that's what I was saying. But they've got keys here that they've not supported before. So there's keys within these kits that they've never produced before in any other group buy. So I don't know if they've actually opened up and made some new molds for some new keys or anything else, or if it's just being carried over from the interest check and they haven't checked if Maxkeys can actually support all of those already. So it's interesting. I've reached out to Way. I haven't had a response off him as yet, so hopefully I will do. And hopefully be able to clarify whether all of these keys are going to be able to be supported.
Yeah, interesting. I would hope. I mean, Maxkeys has been around for a little while now. I'd hope that they'd probably try to polish up their process. I know they've been fixing a lot of their legend inconsistencies that they had when they started, because when they originally launched, if I recall, they were using old molds from Signature Plastics that had some issues with
that. Was the rumor.
That was the rumor, at least. And since then we've definitely seen some fixed, upgraded legends from them, which is nice. So I'd hope they'd probably expand their mold category as well, catalog, not category.
Maybe. I mean, just looking through the ones that really jump out at me are the ISO enters. I don't think Maxkeys have introduced those before. The 3U spacebars as well. I'm pretty sure we've not seen a 3U spacebar key from Maxkey previously. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong. And then there's a lot in the Ergo set, as well as some of the non-standard kit as well. There's just a lot of keys in there we haven't seen them produce. So unless they have gone out and made these molds and bought these molds or produced them, and they are going to make these keys, I'm not quite sure how they play out.
Yeah. Interesting. So this is double shot ABS in the, like we were saying before, the very standard SA profile 112343. And something interesting to note here is that the expected delivery date is the end of February, next month. And the group buy ends February 10th. So there's an 18-day window between the group buy ending and the expected delivery date, which leads me to believe these are already made.
Yes, or being produced right now. Yeah.
Being produced very quickly right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what Maxkey's timeline normally is, but I'm sure it's generally longer than 18 days.
For sure, yeah.
So, interesting there. So, KBD fans probably just fronted a lot of the money for a lot of this, and they can get it into people's hands sooner. So, they do more of the waiting for you, I suppose. Which a lot of people prefer that. Someone Mountain Block's asking, how is it even a group buy then? I don't know, man.
It's not technically a group buy. Yeah, I mean, if it's already been funded, it's not really a group buy. But we go by that nomenclature in the community. So whilst it's not technically correct, it's acceptable terminology, I think, for most people in the community now.
Yeah, it's probably easier to say that than anything else. Although I guess you could just say it's an in-stock item and it won't ship until X date. But
so it's a pre-order.
Yeah, a pre-order. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Wise guy. We'll call it a pre-order. Anyway, so if you've been looking forward to this, well, here it is, and it's shipping soon, in theory, according to this thread. Yeah. So pretty cool stuff there.
SA version of GMK Iris, someone said in the chat. I think it was Bug Whisper. It does look a little bit like GMK Iris. I completely agree, but in the SA profile. So.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So, wait, what is... Hold on, I think I have the next topic wrong. What is the next topic? I think I opened the wrong
thing. The Novelkeys Box Pink switches.
Hold on. I think I got that link wrong. Hold on. Did I? No, wait. No, I didn't.
No, you didn't?
No, okay. No, I think I have it right. Sorry. I forgot to load that. Apparently.
All right, okay.
Or wait, hold on. No, it's wrong.
While you're loading this up, so these are the new Novelkeys Kailh Box Pink switches, which are a mid-sized click bar switch. So the click bar is right between the click bar of the box whites and the box jades. So if you liked box whites, but wanted something with a bit more of a firmer click, but you didn't like box jades because they were too thick, this could be the switch for you. It creates a decent sized tactile bump, Mike tells us. There's a little bit more defined than box whites and more rounded than box jades, so it's not quite as forceful as the jades. In terms of price, they're sold in packs of 10 for $3.40. That's 34 cents each per switch. and they're in stock now, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I am led to believe as well. So it's kind of interesting. We're having a different size click bar in this. So if you guys maybe haven't, been around for a while, maybe you're a little bit newer and you're not sure how the click bar works. So I think it was probably about 2 years ago now the click bar was first introduced, maybe a year and a half to 2 years ago. Click bar from Kailh was first introduced. And it honestly was a pretty big success. It made clicky switches a lot more clean, a lot more precise. They were very smooth, very satisfying to use. Mm-hmm. And that was with the launch of Box Whites, and a little bit later followed with Box Pale Blues, which were just the Box Whites with a heavier spring and recolored stem. Sure. Later on, Novelkeys decided to try a thicker click bar. So the way the switch works very fundamentally is when you press the stem down, on the way down it has a little nub that's adjacent to a metal click bar, and when you hit that, it just smacks the plastic housing with the click bar. And the benefit there is it's a very, very clean, precise sound. It's not rattly like an MX Blue switch per se or other click jacket style mechanisms. It's a very, very precise click, and I personally absolutely love it. I much prefer it to the click jacket method.
Sure, I agree.
Yeah, but anyways, Mike thought it would be an interesting idea to add a thicker click bar to try to produce maybe a different sound or feel. He did that, and that was the Box Jade and the Box Navy, which were the lighter and heavier versions, respectively. And they were honestly also pretty much a hit. It added a lot of tactility. People wanted that tactility. The click was deeper. It was more intense. People liked that as well. So this is kind of the in-between of that, in theory. So I don't think he has an exact measurement of the click bar itself by what it looks like, but he does say that it's going to be... Yeah, he says it's going to be in between the more normal Box Whites and the thicker click bars of the Box Jades. So that way you'll still get some of that tactility and a little bit of deep intensity, but it won't be quite as insane as the normal Box Jade and Box Navies, which can be a little overwhelming for some people, both in feel and sound.
Yeah, and one of the other interesting things about this switch, I think a couple of people in chat have noticed this as well, is that the bottom out force is actually lower than the actuation force as well. So what's going to happen is you're going to have quite a stiff actuation at 65 grams, and then it's just bottom at 55 grams. What you'll probably find is it's going to be a little bit like a tactile switch where you get over that bump and then you just drop straight to the bottom.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting switch to use. I think that's quite an interesting feeling switch. I'm hoping we can get hold of some of these and give them a try because I'm quite interested by these.
Yeah, I mean, we should get some regardless because this is probably going to be a winner. And come on, they're pink. Who doesn't like pink?
Yeah,
Sheesh.
Yeah. Who doesn't love a pink switch?
I need some more pink boards to put these in. All right, so make sure you check those out. 34 cents a switch. Pretty normal for a launch product from Kailh.
It's not a bad price.
Yeah, not too bad. All right, so let's move on to, if I'm correct,
something a little bit different. This one.
Yeah, if I got the, I mean, I still can't open my news doc, so I think the QMK configurator update is next, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, cool. Then I'm back on track. I had a little bit of a hiccup, but I should be good now. So this is a bit of an update from user and QMK expert Mech Merlin, who you might know from some YouTube videos and such. Very nice guy, very helpful in the community, and he's got some changes for the QMK configurator and some nice updates and stuff, which he goes over here. I'm not going to break down all this because there's a lot of stuff going on, but basically he's got new things, and QMK is always being updated, and he wants your feedback. So if you have a QMK board and maybe you have or have not tried the QMK configurator, it's quite good, honestly, for one, and he wants your feedback. They're always trying to improve it. So
yeah. A couple of ones that stand out for me is that he's now put the key codes in table form, so it's easier to find them. You can just tab through them. The buttons are now bigger and you've got larger fonts as well, so it's much easier to see what you're selecting. It's easy to tell how you program the board. And then the final thing as well is he's added support for ARM boards on there as well, because we're starting to see more and more PCBs support the ARM chips. So yeah.
Yeah, and if you haven't used the QMK configurator yet, but you want to, go to youtube.com/mechmerlin, and he has an amazing 2-part guide that shows you all about how to use the QMK configurator, whereas, making your layouts and flashing your board, really, really easy. Yep. I'm a moron, and I could do it. So if I can do it, pretty much anyone can do it. It was quite easy and very painless, which is nice considering QMK used to be very, very painful.
Very difficult to use, yeah.
Very difficult, you
should give that top link a click there where it says click here to see QMK Configurator Beta and just show that, Brian, because it is really really nice to see that the changes have been made.
Yeah. Just a quick demo. It's really easy. There's a little drop-down menu here. You can kind of, pick which PCB is supported. There's a lot of support nowadays, which is nice, and they're always adding more. Then you choose what layout on the board, you can name it, and then here you can just make your layout really easy. I'm on a layout layer right now. You can just drag and drop. You can actually, if I'm not mistaken, you can just click whatever you want. If you have like a physical keyboard here, make your layout really, really simple. You can save all your stuff, and you can just flash it. You download the layout, and then you can just compile it, flash it. Really, really simple nowadays. Love that QMK is so much more accessible, so much easier than it used to be. That even the average user can do it without blinking an eye now.
Yeah, it's dead easy, and one of the good things I think is it is split all the layouts at the bottom that you could want. So you've got your ANSI, you've got your ISO/GIST, you've got quantum settings as well if you want to play around with anything a little bit more complex, like your reset keys and all of that kind of stuff. And then you've also got keyboard settings where you can change your backlight and things like that. So you can just go through all these tabs, turn on what you want, put it on the layer that you want, and you can just go from there and fully program your board. I think it's just really nice, easy to use, simple bit of software, and the changes are fantastic.
Yeah, very, very, very nice. Love it. Oh, this is kind of cool. I didn't actually notice this before. You can actually set different key sets.
Yes.
So right now I'm on GMK Nautilus. I'm going to go ahead and change to, just for the sake of this, I'm going to change to GMK Olivia. Look at that. The colors change right there. This is totally unnecessary, by the way, but it's a really cute addition.
It's cool, isn't it? I like it.
Yeah. It's a little white on black action there. So yeah, really easy to just make layouts, program your own stuff. Pretty darn simple. Supports a lot of stuff. Love that. So shout outs to Mechmerlin on that one. Press load. He's telling me to press load default. Am I going to ruin the world? Load default. Oh, interesting. So it loads like a what seems to be a relatively, at least, generic layout.
Nice. Okay, yeah, so it gives you an idea. This is how you could have your board. Yeah, okay, I like that.
Let's try to do something a little bit more complicated. I don't know. What is the 4-bagger? There's a lot of PCBs in here I've never heard of, but the 4-bagger needs to be something. That's what I need, apparently. Let's give me a somewhat obscure QMK PCB.
An obscure one.
Oh, here we go. I got it.
Okay, go on.
Katana 60. If you've never seen a Katana 60, pretty obscure layout. Let's see if this gives us a default layout. It does. Okay, wow, interesting. And it actually looks pretty intuitive. With several layers. Wow! Whoever put all this back-end work in here to do this is the real MVP. Because this probably took a lot of work.
Impressive.
So, shout-outs to the QMK guys. This is great. Is there... Probably not on this page. Does QMK have a donation link somewhere? I know I've seen some people ask that.
Not sure. I'm not sure if they do.
Site not found. Oof, that's a problem. Anyways, definitely support QMK here on your QMK-based keyboards, of which there are many in the community now. This is really good stuff, guys. They're all doing a great job.
It's really good to see. Yeah, I like it a lot.
Heck yeah. So, bam. There is that. Shout-outs to those guys.
Oh, and Mechmerlin's pasted the QMK donor box link in chat, guys. So if you do want to donate to QMK and thank them, buy them a coffee, buy them a beer for all of the support that they give us by creating these nice tools for us, go click that link and send them some money.
Yep. Send them all of the monies, like you can see here.
All of the monies, yeah.
All right. So, yeah, make sure you donate there to help those guys out, because they are some of the hardest working people in the community.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to our next topic.
Yeah.
We have an interest check for Recolored Zeal Helio switches. So, if you haven't seen this yet, the rundown is pretty darn simple. This guy either doesn't like or doesn't want the color of Helios. Maybe doesn't care for the orange. Either way, whatever. But he wants to do a different color. And he has talked to Zeal about this. It is officially sanctioned by Zeal. And they're going to do a run of a different color. And he has narrowed it down to some kind of pink-ish colors. Here are the Pantones here that I think he's still choosing between. I don't think he's actually made a final decision on which Pantone, but presumably it'll be one of these.
I think what he says that they're going to get the orders in first, make sure they've hit the MOQ, and then they'll get some samples, and they'll pick from the samples whichever one matches the closest Pantone they've gone for. So yeah, I think it'll be a choice of colour after the buy's closed, but we'll know it's pink and we'll know it's broadly in this kind of range.
Yeah. So this is kind of an interesting thing, I guess. I mean, I'm okay with the orange color of the Helio. It's actually named because of that. Helio is a god of the sun. I don't remember what mythology, but god of the sun or something. So
it's named after the Hermes brand as well, which is orange and blue. So yeah.
Yeah. So this is a step backwards in naming scheme, if nothing else. But it gives people an option, I guess, if you're not into the orange stems themselves. MOQ, relatively low. 20,000 might sound like a lot, but that's actually really not. According to him, today...
I was going to say, it's only been open a couple of days, and it's already quite out there.
He's already at 16,330 units of 20,000 sold. So over 16,000 sold. And, it's only been open 2 days, and that was of this morning. So... Still lots of time left if you want to get in on these. I believe they will be sold officially through... Yeah, okay. So Zeal has agreed to run the limited group buy on his website for an alternative color. So, Zeal put in a little bit of work there himself. Yep.
Yeah. Very cool. And these are going to be 90 cents a switch as well, rather than the $1.20 that Helios are at the minute. So
yeah. So if you guys aren't aware, the difference of that is group buy pricing versus in-stock pricing. The group buy pricing for Helios has always been 90 cents a switch, and then the post group buy phase is always $1.20, a little bit of a markup there. But he does run group buys a lot. Like, he's on round 15 right now, or 16 or something like that. So he does run them fairly often to get that group buy pricing for a lot of you guys.
Yeah, and just to confirm as well, no other part of the switch is changing. So the leaf, the housing, and the spring is all going to be the same. It's just going to literally be the colour of the stem that changes on these switches.
Yep. So, very simple. If you want some pink Helios, here's an option. I actually might get some of these.
What's your take on the whole coloured switch kind of thing that's going on in the community? Because there's quite a lot of switches that are just colour copies and colour changes. What do you think about that as overall, Brian? What's your take on that?
I think as long as the prices remain low enough to be justifiable, it's totally fine. Because aesthetics has always been really important in this community for many, many years. People, want this color, this combination, that combination. And it's easier to get what you want nowadays, and it's really quite nice. I mean, I don't like when people kind of talk them up as if they're something that they're not, which a lot of people do. Like, I remember when the tangerines came out, people went nuts. It's just a Gateron linear that's recolored. It's like every other Gateron linear, just a different color. It looks cool, yeah, sure, but it also has it has a bit of a price markup for that color, which is fine. I don't mind a little bit of a price markup. What I do like is the linear switch. So I like I like that one because they're actually going to be using the all matte housing, which I appreciate a lot. And but yeah, I mean colors. More options for colors is basically where we're at on this right now, and. It's not really hurting the community, I don't think, as long as people aren't trying to sell them as something they're not.
Exactly, and that's how I see it as well. People want to have custom boards built the way they want them. The colour of the anodization that they want on the aluminium, and the colour of the keycaps that they want. Why not the colour of the switches as well? If we can all kind of pick and choose from a better stock. I mean, I know a lot of people will buy, Gatorons with a certain colour stem because that's the colour stem they want, and then they'll swap the springs to get the weight they want. So I can kind of see why, and I've bought this myself. I bought the face, which is tangerines. I've had those this week. So I can completely see why people want to do that, and I think it just gives us more options in the community. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, exactly. As long as no one's lying, no one's getting hurt. That's my main thing. People trying to sell them as something that they're not. At the end of the day, they're just Gateron linears. Maybe they have a custom spring, a different spring, and they're a different color, but they're just Gateron linears. And that's how they should be marketed. But I'm all for people having options, and this is no exception. But, people really like to color match things that they can't even see. You put caps, you put switches in your board, you put caps on, you don't even see the color of the stems anymore. You don't.
It's true.
Same thing with PCB most of the time, even plates a lot of the time, or internal weight, stuff like that. Like, people just want differently colored things that they know are there, even though they don't see it. And we have.
Now, I will admit, I'm a stickler for a PCB. I don't like a green PCB. I don't know what it is about me, but I just don't like a green PCB.
Yeah, and I mean that's fine, but it's just interesting. It's always an interesting thought to me that people spend so much time fussing about colors of things that a lot of the times they don't see. But then again, we have a lot of photographers, in the community. We have a lot of people that just like to take pictures of their boards and just like to look at them for the visual appeal and not necessarily always just be typing on them. So, I get that. It looks nicer in a picture when you have stuff that's, color matched, color contrast properly. I get that. I do. So, yep, jump in on this. You got a little bit of time left. MOQ is most assuredly going to be hit.
I can't see it missing.
I can't really see it missing either. So get in on that. And it's also fun, just kind of a fun aside here. If you want to get Helios at group buy pricing when it's not an official group buy, bam, here you go. That's a good way to get around that if you don't have to wait for the next group buy for normal
Absolutely.
Helios.
Yeah. You don't have to wait for the next round. You can just jump in it now. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like a little in-between round for them. All right, cool stuff. What do we got next, Jay?
So what we've got next is an interest check from Top Clack's very own 159. This is for TGR Alice PCBs and plates in polycarbonate and carbon fibre. So for those of you that are lucky enough to own an Alice board, this is an opportunity for you to be able to get a replacement PCB and a replacement plate in some unusual materials without having to wait for a group buy. So I can see 159's in chat, so hey man, we're going to feature you this week and talk this through. So just giving it from the top, Martin, who is doing the Plane 60 giveaway that we've got on stream later on today, so please hang about for that to the end. He's designing this PCB. It's going to be compatible with the Alice in full. It'll use a standard Atmega 32U4. It'll be fully QMK compatible. There'll be no underglow and there'll be no in-switch LEDs. I think that's a design decision taken by Martin and 159 together. It's going to be USB mini because we can't put USB-C inside the Alice cases because the cutouts won't work on the case. And there's a total of 20 units, which might change depending on interest. But currently it's set at 20 units. So there's a form to fill out if you are interested. There is a US and an EU proxy for you to be able to jump on this and grab one. And I'm very tempted to grab one on my board as well. Do you want to talk us through the plate options, Brian?
Yeah, so he's going to be doing some plates as well. Looks like he's going to be doing carbon fiber and polycarbonate options, both in 1.5 millimeter, which is pretty nice. He doesn't have an MOQ or price to be decided yet. But, he's estimated 40 polycarbonate and 15 carbon fiber based on some interest check numbers from Pudsy's previous Alice interest check thread.
Yeah, and I think Pudsey and 159 have come to an agreement where both the group buys are going to be merged together for this one.
Cool. Makes it a lot simpler.
It does, yeah. It makes it a lot easier. And interestingly as well, so 159 and I are also looking at some other carbon fiber plates for a different project with Max West Foxtrot, who's running the ANSI group buy. So I've actually got a carbon fiber plate for my Alice coming as well, so I'll be able to have an early view of what the quality on these are going to be like. So I think they're going to be run through the same factory.
Heck yeah. So pretty awesome stuff there. Man, the Alice is such a popular board.
It is, yeah.
But this almost never happens. You almost never get someone else running plates and PCBs for a particular board after the group buy. Like,
it's because Sam's been kind enough to open source the design files for the plate and the PCB, so which is really good to see, and I'm all for the community opening it up like this, because there's nothing worse than having a board that 2 years down the line the PCB goes, you can't get the board working, you can't buy a PCB because the group buys over, no one wants to sell their PCB because it's in their board and it's only still working for them. So to see something like this happen for a board that's been as popular as the Alice has over the past 6 to 12 months, I'm all for it. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, and that's always a problem too. Like if you get a really obscure layout kind of board like this, which is relatively limited, and and let's say you only get one PCB, and God forbid somehow you mess it up soldering, or something happens and you can't get it to work. What are you gonna do? You have $600 paperweight. No one wants that.
You hand wire it, I guess.
You could, yeah. It would be annoying, but yeah, that is an alternative. So this is obviously way better alternative. Happy to see this, and looking forward to it. I even though I don't have an Alice, which I really like an Alice, but I'm gonna need you to send me that, and then I'm never gonna talk to you again.
What? What? I'm sending my Alice. What? When did this happen?
I don't know. I yesterday, hopefully. we have that.
Set the timer to -30.
I'm gonna set not the stream. I'm gonna set the life timer to like -30.
Yeah, you could go and get one of those acrylic ones, because all of the files are open source for the acrylic.
I don't want an acrylic one. I want a metal one. I want a metal one with the built-in angle. I want the TGR branding on there. I want it to be the actual legit version, because I'm picky. Okay. I'm picky. I'm greedy, and I'm okay with admitting that.
Well, if you want to borrow mine, man, I can ship it out to you. You can have a try with it.
I'm gonna have to take you up on that. Anyways, pretty good, straightforward interest check here. I like he's got a lot of good information. He's got I like when people do this in interest checks. They have an update section and kind of like an FAQ section. Like that a lot.
He's thought about it. It shows that there's some care, some attention, some thoughts gone into the process. And you know what? He's not got a load of text. He's just got it simple bullet points. There's no waffling around it. It's like this, and that's it. That's all the information you need, and that's all the information I'm going to give you. I'm not. I really like it when interest checks are laid out like this. Really good.
Yep, absolutely. So make sure to check this out if you own an Alice, or maybe you get an acrylic Alice and you need some upgrades to that. Bam, there you go. Yep. Good stuff. All right, what do we have next, Jay? I don't know too much about this site, so
so the next thing is something that I think it was Walker in the Talk About Discord that put me onto, but this looks like a new vendor. So this is Moudii MMK, and I've spoken to Hussein, who is the owner of the store, over the past week or so. And these guys have kind of designed their own custom board. It uses Utemu switches, and it's kind of a tray mount case, but it's something that they've designed themselves. And it almost feels like they've done it separately. After speaking to them, they've almost done it separately to how the keyboard community's come along, how our mech keyboard community exists. But they've come up with some very similar designs. So it's a tray mount board, it's a plastic case, and they've got their own custom PCB, their own plate, and they've also got their own custom keycaps, of which there's 2 types. Now, the interesting one is if you just click on that Caspian C set that's right at the top of the screen, they have what they call these glazed keycaps. So they're kind of an OEM profile keycap set that's being glazed on the outside with some sort of clear plastic. You can get it on the modifiers and on the alphas. I think they look kind of different. They are backlit compatible as well. So it's interesting that they've got these. Now, he did call them SA keycaps when I spoke to him, but these ones look more like an OEM profile to me. But they do also have what he tells me and he assures me are true double shot PBT SA keycaps as well. So that's where the housing, the actual main part of the keycap is PBT, and the double shot insert as well is PBT too. So apparently they paid for the molds. They've had these keycaps made themselves. I have seen very similar ones for sale on AliExpress and places like that. So I'm not quite sure where that goes and the truth behind that is, but he is going to send us some for trial as well. So I'll have those in a couple of weeks, and I'll send them over to you, Brian, afterwards to have a look and play and feel if they are a little bit different to anything else on the market. Don't know if anyone else has heard of this. I don't know what you guys think, but they do look very, very similar to other things on the market, and it seems like these guys have come up with the idea on their own, which is kind of interesting if they have done it separately from the community.
Yeah, I'm not really so sure. Someone in chat, DOS Gnome KB, is saying they are $15 on AliExpress, but they have custom colors.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've never seen them before, but it's a new vendor. But the other interesting one as well is if you go to the main page and just scroll right down, they have what they call double shot PBT keycaps, and he assures me that both the double shot and the insert and the main keycap is PBT, which is really, really rare. Most double shot PBT aren't actually PBT. They usually use POM insert, something else. Yeah. So we've got some on the way. We're going to try both sets out. We'll see what the truth behind it is. Just a new vendor to have a look at.
Yeah. The interesting thing to me is there's. I actually haven't talked to them. Obviously, you have, but these are pretty obviously what I'm showing on screen here. These are OEM profile, but where does the SA come into play? Like, are there going to be an SA version of
some
the board?
of the keycaps on the site are SA cap sets. When you look into the keycaps, there are some SA sets in there.
Okay.
Or there were the other day when I was speaking to him, and there's a lot of escape keycaps as well that are SA on the boards. I think they've been pulled off there since I was having a chat to him. Not sure. It looks like they're not on there anymore, but there were some full SA keycaps.
I think I found them. These look like SA in the pictures. At least Cookie Monster V2 Blue Hard Candy.
So
very, very interesting. And they kind of have the top left aligned legends too, kind of like the that older Philco SA set.
Yeah,
that you see sometimes. Not the biggest fan of the kind of gamery OEM stock legends, but
no,
it's an option.
Not either. Yeah, it's an option. I'm not sure that the board's for me either. It's semi-high profile. I think it just toys the line between being high profile and being low profile. But it is their own custom designed case, so whether they've come up to the same solution or not, as the rest of the community has, it's kind of interesting how they've got there, and it's just interesting how they've come under the radar. That was the most important thing for me. They've kind of come under the radar. They've got this store set up. They've got lots of things for sale, but they're not really talked about within the community. So it's really interesting.
Certainly. So I think all these listings for the boards, I think, they say they're sold out, except for this one apparently. Huh.
Yeah, he did mention that they're getting a lot more stock in, and that they've been setting up the site. So he's going to send us a set of the double shot PBT keycaps and the set of the glazed keycaps as well. But it's the glazed ones that are really interesting. I have seen those keycaps with those legends on elsewhere in OEM profile, but I haven't seen them with this glaze on the outside. So
this is this might be a little bit more of an entry level product for a lot of people that are probably watching right now. Maybe people that are considering just kind of getting into the hobby, maybe a first or second board, and this is kind of like a competitor to like a poker, almost something like that. You might not get like a metal case like you would on the Poker 3, but the exchange there is you get some different keycaps. You get a hot swappable PCB. You get some backlighting. You get what I'm pretty positive is full programmability, which is pretty cool. Yes. They have their own little software link there, which is nice because on boards like the Poker, you usually don't get that kind of programmability. It's kind of just very basic, and you can change a couple things via function. So.
Yeah, and he did mention to me earlier on in the week that that's something they've created themselves. I'm not sure if it's a front end for some other firm that we know of under a different name in the background, but it is something that they've created themselves.
Yeah. So maybe interesting to some of you, maybe really not interesting to others, but that is for them to decide.
Yeah, Irideus has got some questions. Is it a custom designed case? Looks like the generic black ones. It does a little bit look like them, but this has got 2 USB option ports on the back. It looks a little bit different from some of the other pictures I've seen that Hussein shared with me through Discord. So I am interested to see one of the boards. He's only sending keycaps for the moment, but if we can get a review board and we can take a better look, then we will do.
Yeah, certainly. All right, let's move on to what I believe is our last news topic, actually.
It is, yes.
Very, very nice. So this is the interest check for the TYL 4mm brass plates. Time to enhance your 60% keyboard, he says.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to totally butcher this name, and I'm sorry. But TYL is short for, I think he actually spells it out somewhere. Here we go.
TNU Labs.
TNU. I'm pretty sure that's the wrong way to pronounce that, but
is it? Okay.
I'm not sure. But that's what TYL stands for. I think that's iLewis 07's kind of company, kind of branding or something.
Yep.
He's the guy that did the recent Nutcracker, the packaging on that. Actually, it has his own branding on there. So this seems to be kind of his next project, which in essence is effectively just a 4mm plate for a tray mount keyboard.
Yes.
Is kind of what I'm seeing here. So it looks like brass is going to be the starting option, but he is highly considering doing aluminum and polycarbonate as well, provided the prototypes come back properly. And so I don't think we have anything like this on the market yet, as far as I'm aware. 4mm, 5mm tray mount brass options. So
I think the only ones we've seen with this kind of thickness have been within group buys. So it's the first standalone product that offers this capability and this feature. Yeah.
Well, in tray mount too, because I don't think even in tray mount group buys we've seen a 5mm plate option, as far as I'm aware.
No, you might be right.
Because I know Noctuary was obviously he sent you that 5mm polycarbonate plate with the T60, but I don't think that was
you right now.
Oh, nice. But I don't think that was actually an option during any kind of buying phase of the T60, if I recall.
No, it wasn't. No, it was a one-off produced this prototype. Is that? I know he's got some other 4 or 5mm plates, but they're in top mount boards. So yeah, you might be right. This might be the first tray mount model. But interestingly enough, it is CNC'd as well, so it's not one where you're just going to have to hope that the switches hold in place. They will clip in. It's going to have all of the right notches CNC milled out for the stabilizers and the switches themselves. That is good news. And interestingly as well, iLewis reached out to me a couple of days ago on Discord, and he didn't say what it was for at first, but he asked me if I could send him a KLE of what the most common ISO layouts were. So I did, and it turns out that he's also going to be doing multiple variations, or he's going to try. So there's going to be the standard ANSI ones as well as ISO ones as well.
All right, awesome. That is cool. I like how at least in this one he has a version that has 7U quote unquote win keyless bottom row. Like that. I like to see more fixed plates. So hopefully it'll have those kind of options. So this is pretty cool. It may not be like a super interesting product because we've had tray mount for a while. Tray mount plates very common, but now we're getting some thicker ones, which could be kind of cool because this is going to be a way that you can really customize not only the feel but particularly the sound in your tray mount keyboards.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be kind of interesting to see what kind of sounds you can produce with the brass, aluminum, and polycarbonate just by being thicker.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we can get some samples, then it'd be great to try out in the same build, try a couple of these different plates out and see what we think.
Yep. Definitely.
Nice. That might make a nice little stream actually. We'll see what we can do on that front.
Yep. This is still kind of an early interest check, but it's probably coming. Price still to be decided. Period. Less than a month.
Yeah. Where do you think the price should be on a product like this, Brian? What's your take on where you think you'd like to see this pricing?
That's a really good question, actually, because we've had tray mount plates around for quite a long time now. You can get, if you go to KBD fans, you can get like aluminum plates, steel plates, polycarbonate, carbon fiber plates, all within like $15 to $25, which is pretty inexpensive. These are obviously much thicker, and if you take a look at this picture I'm showing now, he actually has notches cut out right here, so the switches can actually still clip in. Kind of like if you've used like a Zephyr, it's you normally on a plate that's this thick, switches can't actually clip in, but if you make those extra additional cuts, you can make them clip in, and it's a little bit more satisfying of an experience. So
Yeah.
definitely like that feature, but that definitely adds to the machine time.
Oh,
So
for sure, because you can't laser cut that. You have to mill it, which is a longer process and more expensive process as well.
Yeah. So I want to say something like $50, but I think realistically it's going to be more like $60, $70, maybe even 80.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it that high, but I don't really know how unavoidable it'll be.
I'm not sure if the economies of scale are there to keep it much below $100 is my view on it. Now, I'd love to be really pleasantly surprised and see these for, $50, $60, $75. But given that I've seen a couple of other group buys that have got CNC cut plates so that they match the profile of the case, they're quite expensive. So unless they've got a really good deal on the CNCing and, they found some factory that can... make these and do them in bulk or at some sort of scale to get a better economy out of them. I'm not sure. So I'd like to see them south of $100, but it wouldn't surprise me if they're up there almost.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see, hoping for the best. But I mean, generally speaking, tray mount is usually the lesser expensive option, and that's
it is. Yeah.
That's kind of just how it is, and it's nice to be able to just spend $15, $20, $25 on a 1.5 millimeter plate of your choice and put it in your tray mount build and use it, and it's cool. But when you're starting to throw $80, $100+ down on just the plate in your tray mount board, for some people it can start to look a little unattractive.
Yeah, I mean, I really, really would like to see a really low price on this. I think people are guessing in the chat at the minute. So I'd love to see it for $40, $50, $60. If it was something in that price range, I think they'll sell a ton of them. People will be really interested. At that kind of price, you'll get people buying them just to try it out, not necessarily because they want to use it or they know they like a thick plate. But yeah, I think if they can get to that kind of price point, they'll sell really well.
Yep, certainly. So that's kind of what we're hoping for here. That's kind of what we're hoping for. So hopefully we can get some more info on this soon, and the group buy actually starts, and maybe we can get a little sample.
Absolutely. And now moving into our next section, this is our sponsor section where we're going to talk about our sponsors, the lovely people that make Top Clack available for you guys and help us to keep doing what we do and supporting us in the background as well. So today, first up, we have got Novelkeys, who is run by the lovely Mike, so NK for Novelkeys. And up for group buy at the moment, we've got the lovely Gateron glow switches. If anyone's thinking of building a Halloween themed board later on in the year, jump on this now. It's only open until 1st of February. These are the glow in the dark switches where the stems and the top housing will give bright glow. Also on the site as well, we've got the new box pinks that we talked about earlier on. Really good pricing on these, 34 cents a piece or $3.40 for 10. They're also supporting the linear switch group buy as well. So these are the IKEA coloured switches from the Sweden group buy too, which are broadly the same price, I think, $3.60 for 10. So jump on those. There's no profit on those switches as well. That's all being done at cost. And as well, you've got all of the other stuff as well that Mike always sells. So you've got the Godspeed glow in the dark desk pads with the fiber optics around the edges. It looks like the H87 PCB by Heine's up there as well. So please do check that out.
Heck yes. So next up we have Z Frontier, who has been doing a couple interesting things recently, including I'm going to butcher this name every time, guys. The Moudii. It's either that or it's Moudii Rie, which actually sounds way funnier. So I hope it's that. This is the low pro kind of wireless mech keyboard that we talked about last week. I think looks pretty interesting, and it's relatively inexpensive, which is pretty darn cool. They also have other things going on. They have JTK triple shot keycaps still in group buy phase, which is kind of surprising. I'm surprised that group buy hasn't actually ended yet. It's going on for quite a while. But you can still jump in on that if that's your kind of thing. And they still have the Aurora 96 available as well, which is that kind of almost like a Kira competitor.
And speaking of the Kira, if we move over onto Kono's store, the Kira keyboard, the 96 key Kira, is up for sale right now. I think quite a few of these have been shipping over the past couple of days, and I've seen some people posting that they've had those and received them. So you can pick between the standard frame or the metal frame, and depending on price, it varies from $179 to $259. So that's a good looking board with plenty of underglow options. Kono have also got things like the Infinity Ergo Docks for sale on site at the minute as well, which has got this is a split keyboard with dual LED screens on in the top left and top right corners, as well as nice thumb clusters for that orthodox feel. And then as well as that, they've also got up the White Fox and the Night Fox keyboards, those lovely 65% keyboards, depending on whether you prefer the white or the black colour scheme. As well as the Mastrop Alt and Control Killers in the Gemini Dusk and Dawn boards. Kind of really loving those alternate colours, whether you want to pick the lighter themed or the darker themed boards as well there.
Yep, love that. Last but not least, we have Zeal Generation that you can find at zealpc.net. And as usual, he has all the most recent V2 lineup of products in stock. He's got the new V2 Telios, V2 Zelios, V2 Xylence, and the newly launched Helios, which are the silent linear. And the Zeno group buy is also still open until February 15th, so you got just a few more weeks left to join this really freaking epic 75%. I've been waiting for this for so long, man. I was like,
stunning, doesn't it?
It's been an interest check for like 3 years now. It's finally happening. So I've been waiting for this. I'm still going to pick one of these up before the time runs out. And
you're running out of time, man. You're running out of
time. I know.
I
got 3 weeks. I'm probably going to do it like the first week of February, hopefully.
Cool.
And yeah, lots of cool things going on there. I've been really loving the V2 lineup of switches. I'm using the Helios right now. Freaking amazing. I have the Zelios and the Xylence and the Telios, and they're all freaking stellar in my opinion. I've been loving all of them, so make sure to check that out as well. And if you want to support Top Clack while you buy products from Zeal PC, you can do zealpc.net/TopClack. It's an affiliate link. Doesn't cost you anything more, but gives us a little bit of a kickback, so it helps us out a lot. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And just while we're speaking about Zeal Helios, I will be doing a build stream this Sunday for my Zephyr board with my wife. She's going to use it as her work board, so it's a nice red Zephyr, and we're going to be putting Helios switches in there, so it's nice and quiet in the office as well.
Heck yeah. So that's where we are at. So if you guys don't remember, last week, if you weren't tuning in or if you're not aware in the Discord at all, we did a little bit of a giveaway. We opened one up, and we are going to announce the winner. So tell us a little bit about the giveaway first, Jay.
Yeah, so Martin from Martin.dk is a really good friend of Top Clack. He's helped me with a number of PCB designs. He's been quite helpful within the Discord server as well, helping people design boards, design PCBs. He's working with 159 to look at the Alice PCBs, and he's kindly donated one of his boards that he's already developed and had a small prototyping round of Plane 60C. So the Plane 60C is a really, really simple board. It's not got any bells or whistles on it. It's a really nice, plain-looking PCB. Doesn't have any LEDs, no underglow. It's just something that's really crisp, really clean, nice and easy to build. Works perfectly in most boards. It's compatible with both VIA and QMK as well. It's USB Type-C, and it also has an ISP header for those that try and do anything funky with it as well from a programming perspective. So he's been kind enough to donate one of these boards to us. They are just finishing production now, so it will be ready to ship in the next couple of days. We've had a few people enter. So over the past week, we've had 160 entries. There was a bit of a trick question that I thought was quite easy. 15 of you still managed to get it wrong. The question was, what does this board not contain? And the 4 potential answers were, does it have underglow? Which, no, it doesn't. Does it have LEDs? No. It doesn't. Does it have USB Mini? No, it doesn't. I can't remember what the last one was as well, but there was another question on there, but it didn't have it either. So the correct answer was select all 4 options, and we had 15 people that failed to select all 4 answers. But out of the 146 or 47 of you remained, we did pick a winner earlier on.
It was via RNG, by the way.
It was done through RNG, yeah. Just to be clear, we put all of the list of people who got the right answers into a bit of software, we ran that bit of software, and that told us who the winner was. So, do we do a drum roll? How do you want to do this?
Yeah, I'll give you a drum roll, and you can announce the winner.
Go on then. Go on, drum roll, please.
I've never drum rolled before, so I'm sorry if this is bad.
And the winner is Romai6968. So Romai, thank you very much for entering, dude. You are the winner of the Plane 60 PCB. I'll be in touch with you tomorrow. I'm going to go to bed straight after the stream tonight, but I'll be in touch with you tomorrow to sort that out. So if you want to PM me in the meantime, and then when I get up in the morning, I'll sort of Martin introduce you, and we'll go from there. So congrats and well done, Romai.
Heck yeah. We definitely hope to have some more giveaway stuff coming soon. I have a couple ideas in mind. A couple really cool ideas. But yeah, congrats to Romai there. People saying rigged. No matter what, everyone always says rigged. Whatever, like no matter what happens at any point, everyone always says rigged.
Yeah, like, he's confirming it as well that it was def rigged, so he must have tipped one of us off in the background.
Yeah, we are pretty firm believers here in RNG. We like to give everyone equal chance.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, there you go. And now is as good a time as any to roll into the Q&A segment. So if you guys have questions, now is a good time. Make sure you use the @TopClack tag. Helps us see it a lot easier. And we'll probably try to restrict this to about 10 or 15 minutes. Because we're about to hit the 2-hour mark, and I have a decently lengthy stream coming after the show today that I need to prep for. So,
yeah, and I need a decently lengthy sleep.
Yeah, it is very early for Jay right now. So get those questions in now, guys, so we can...
3:50 a.m. Okay, we've got a few questions coming in. So the first one is from Geo, says, he'll ask us again, did we buy Slate? I didn't buy Slate, I'll be honest, I didn't buy it. I'm not a fan of EPBT feel. That's just me. Brian, did you buy it?
I did buy it. I do enjoy PBT. And I like the colorway, and I like Heine Bush, so pretty...
Yeah, Heine's a really good dude.
Pretty easy buy for me, I just had to come up with the money for it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Heine's a great guy. He's a stand-up member of the community. Got a lot of time for him. I think in terms of the keycap set, it's lovely. It's just not for me. I just don't like the feel of the keycaps. I'm much more of an ABS fan. But yeah, I'm glad you bought it, Brian.
Totally understandable. And just a shout out on that did get extended. So I think now it closes February 3rd. And it is not...
It's still open. Okay.
Yeah, and it has not... It got extended because it has not met MOQ yet. And the original end date, I think, was the 26th, so 2 days from now. Got extended to a 3rd. So it's about an extra week or so. So make sure if you want that set to succeed, you definitely buy it, because otherwise it might not be MOQ and we might not have it yet.
Absolutely. Yeah, get out there, guys. Sweaty Yeti as well, donating a ton of Shamrock bits. Thank you very much for that, dude. Really appreciate it.
Another 250. Thank you so much, man.
Is that how much it is?
Yeah. Well, he did 50, but he does 200 afterwards. So he always...
I see.
That's like his thing. He always does 50, then 200, or 200, then 50.
Cool, so, there he goes. And Mountain Blocks just with another 500 bits that's come through as well. So thank you very much for that, dude. Thank you.
Always fun to watch those fall into the whiskey glass on stream.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you very much, guys. All right.
Next question's from Dixie. So Garrett, hey man, good to see you, dude. Y'all want to give away some Thok t-shirts?
Yep.
Ooh.
Sure.
Yep. Send it to Brian. Send it to Brian. Get one to me.
Yep. Hit me up on Discord and we can arrange some stuff.
Yeah. I'll chat about that.
D. Benny asking, will you be picking up GMK Hamon? I plan to. I definitely plan to. Because he's really trying to keep that core kit around like 100 or less, I think, even at like maybe the lowest MOQ. I think the price is going to be too attractive for me not to do it. Especially because I like to say it was me, but I'm not entirely sure. But originally, if you guys don't remember your Hamon history, it was on last April Fool's Day, 2018. He posted that as a joke, and I said, you have to run that. And he was like, what?
Absolutely.
And I was like, you have to run that. It's too good not to run. And it probably wasn't me that really pushed him, but I did mention that he really should run that, and hey, now it's going to be running, so cool stuff.
So I
would be a, kind of an asshole if I said you should run that and then not buy it, so I will definitely be buying GMK Hamon.
Cool. As will I as well, and I'm going to pray and hope and pray that ISO kit makes it to MOQ as well. So I will be buying it either way.
Nice.
Next question then comes from Sleepiness95. So Top Clack, what's the process on the DC01? I haven't spoken to David from MechBoards for a little while. I did get to play with the prototype late last year, September time. It is going to run soon as a DC01. I don't have any dates for you. I'll try and reach out, and if you ask me again next week, I should have an update for you.
Yep. Frosted Flax asking, have you received T1 switches yet?
No, they're going to come tomorrow. I got the delivery note earlier on today, and it says that they're going to be delivered tomorrow. So if they do get delivered tomorrow, I will feature them on my build stream on Sunday, and then I'll also show them on this show next week as well.
Heck yeah. I don't know if I have any on the way. No pun intended.
Well, I will send you samples when I get them. I'm only getting 5 for the samples, but I will send you one. And I'm going to send Huey one for the force curves as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Very nice. Cool. So, yeah, we'll get to check those out. Hopefully, when they actually do a broader launch, someone that has more in stock, we can check those out. I know Novelkeys is supposed to get a good chunk of that first run, if I recall.
Yeah, so, I've got 100 coming from the full first run as well. So, yeah, I believe the samples I'm getting are the smoky switches, which will be the actual second run. And then the 100 or so that I've got coming in the actual group buy with the clear housing runs from the first run. But, yeah.
Yeah, very cool. So, yeah, hopefully we'll have more information on those soon once Jay and or myself can get those in our hands.
Yeah, hopefully. I was hoping to be here today, guys, and when I got home, I got the delivery notification it's going to be tomorrow, so I'm sorry, but as soon as I get them, we'll get them on stream. We'll get you shown up.
Heck yeah. So, Scope One asking, what's a good keyboard, kit maybe, for under $250 USD, presumably?
It's a healthy budget.
$250 or less on a keyboard or kit. I mean, it really depends on your layout, right? Maybe 96 keys your thing. The Kira 96 on Kono.store still open right now. They have some extras. Pretty feature rich, under $250, under $200 for a lot of the options even.
Yep. I think you could also look at some of the KBD fans boards as well. The KBD 67 is a really good buy for the price. I think it's $189 for the kit. You just need switches and keycaps and stabilizers on top of that, but I think that's a really good board for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, KBD fans just has a wealth of like really nice kind of like mid-range options for $250 or less. Quite a few of them.
Absolutely, yeah.
Polyzoo asking, Jay, which keycaps are you planning on building up the Red Zephyr with?
So I'm actually planning on using GMK Exent, which is the keycap set, which is grey on black that ran with Exent. And then I don't know where they are at the minute. I have got some artisans that Glove Caps has made for me specially. If I can find them, I will show you. I'm not sure what I've done with them. No, I can't find them. You'll see them on stream anyway, but Glove Caps have made me some artisans that are going to hopefully match the case. Well, they do match the case, and they're a really nice red shade. So they'll be 1.5U mods to make them almost like a wing keyless layout. That's kind of the idea behind it. And I'm still waiting for Ortho to send me a 7U space because the GMK Exen kit only comes with a 6.5U black base bar. So still waiting for a couple of keys, but that's kind of how we're going to build it.
Yeah. Dosinome KB asking, did you ever figure out who the quote-unquote designer of Holy Panda is that the T1 switch page refers to? No. I messaged Wei like a week or two ago, and I haven't gotten a reply from him, which is kind of strange. Usually he's really good.
Okay.
So
interesting. I messaged him, and he I think he was just misunderstood the language of what designer meant. I think it was more of a translation error than anything else.
Yeah, I assumed that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Wei's not stupid, but you know, English isn't his first language either, so pretty easy to mess that up. But yeah, man, it was crazy. Like after that listing went up, I had like at least a dozen people message me, and they were like, "How is the T1?" And I was like, "I have no idea. I don't have any." And they're like, "But the page says," and I'm like, "I don't know, man. I didn't write it." Anyways, next question, Josie Brewer asking, why do you think that we haven't seen any custom electro capacitive PCBs yet. We have custom domes. So this has kind of been a brain killer for a while now.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure, honestly. I'm no expert on the subject. I can only kind of venture guesses, but I would guess that it's hard to make. It's hard to maybe. We need someone to make springs too, because we need the springs for capacitance, and obviously Topra is probably not going to sell us any of them. So we need custom springs made as well. We already have BKE redux domes and the sort, so that's easy to come across. The PCB design, I think, is just obviously going to be the biggest hurdle. And yeah,
I know a couple of people working on it behind the scenes as well. I think it will happen, but I would not expect it to be cheap when it does, because as Brian says, there's a multitude of parts that you need to get it to work, and that's just going to drive up cost. So I don't think the first time it happens it will be cheap, but I think it will happen at some point soon.
Yeah, no, certainly. It's only a matter of time, one way or another.
Yeah.
Fundle LOL.
Next question's from...
Was the Plane 60 a previous group buy? I need one.
It was a prototyping group buy, effectively. So there was 20 PCBs produced as part of an initial run, just to prove that the concept worked, prove that the design worked. There is a wider group buy planned, and Martin is reaching out to a number of vendors to help be proxies. So yeah, there will be a group buy coming. So just watch this space, and we'll let you know on the show when it happens.
Yep. Avid User 2 asking, is Space Cadet the best set this year? Also, GMK versus SA version.
Okay, so I'll answer the second question first. I have the SA version. You can see it just in the background here on my Hyper 7 board. And I've got the GMK version on the way. That should be with me for next week, so I'll be on show until next week. I think the original is closer to the SA keycaps if you look at the old Lisp machine, so I think I prefer the SA keycaps for that look and feel, but I don't think that takes anything away from the GMK set. The GMK is still really, really nice. In terms of, is it the best set this year? It's way too early to tell that, man. It's the end of January. We've got a whole year to go. Best set so far, maybe. Yeah,
well,
probably say it's best set delivered.
So when you say set of the year, does that imply when the set launches or when people receive the set? Because Space Cadet started in 2018.
Yeah, I think it means when people receive it. I mean, if I was going to pick a set of 2018, it would be GMK Red Samurai, hands down. That's the set. I'm still searching for a set. I haven't found one yet, or not for a price I'm willing to pay. So I think if that's the question, last year, then it was GMK Red Samurai for me. If it's this year, too early to tell. Ask me at the end of the year.
Yeah. I really like Space Cadet a lot. I just got a set in last week or something, and it's of GMK, and it's fantastic. I do think the SA version looks better, which I almost always agree with. I almost always think that SA colors are better than GMK's. But I'm vastly...
not sure it's the colors.
Really?
For me, it's the legend location, because on the GMK caps, they're kind of up and in the left corner. Whereas on the SA version, they're centered in the middle, and I think that's what it is for me. I don't think it's necessarily the colors. I think it's the shape of the cap and the position of the legend that I prefer. The colors are great on the GMK version.
Yeah. Maybe it's just like, for me, the example I like to use for me is Carbon. If you compare like Carbon SA in person to GMK Carbon, for me the GMK version just looks a lot more flat, a lot more dull. It's not like it doesn't excite me, and I don't like typing on SAs. Like, I don't even own any SA sets, but like SA Carbon looks incredible in person. Like the colors, I don't know if it's just the kind of like shiny finish on the SA or like their particular colors that they use, SP versus GMK for example, but SA Carbon is just stunning in person. Like, it looks so proper, but I'm not going to type on it.
What you need to do is you need to polish up a GMK set, like really get it on the buffing wheel and polish them up so they're really nice and shiny and smooth, and see what that looks like. Because I think that looks really good when I've seen a couple of posts on Reddit where people have done that.
Yeah. So I guess as far as the original question, Space Cadet the best set of the year. What sets have we seen this year? What sets have arrived this year? Since we're not talking about sets that launched this year.
Space Cadet.
Is that it? I mean, by default, Space Cadet is probably the best of the year, right?
So far, yeah. I can't think of anything else that's being delivered. Oh, White on Black, GMK White on Black from Originative, not from Originative, from Master.
Yeah. Not that that's necessarily anything new. We've had iterations of that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Frosted Flax asking, what tip are you using on your TS100?
I use the chisel tip.
I'm a big fan of like the really sharp tips, so I use like the needle one, like the really sharp one.
Oh, nice.
That's kind of just my preference.
I use the little chisel tip. I just find it easier to get in there for smaller components.
Yeah. Rumai, who was our Plane 60 winner, asking, should I tell them I might have also won Keycap B-Stock raffle? I didn't even know there was a Beast. Is that for number 160, 165?
It must be, yeah. I do think I saw that, actually. Yeah, there was a B-Stock raffle coming up for that, where there was some slight damage to the boards. I think most of it was internal damage. I don't think it was on the outside of the boards, but there was still B-Stock.
Interesting. I had no idea that was happening.
Yeah, I don't know what the prices were like. So, Ramai, if you've got a link, let me know. I'll have a look at that after the show. Moving on to the next question then. Avid User 2 says, at Top Clack, well, let me say it like this instead. Compare it with other top sets like Olivia and Red Samurai, etc. Okay, so just clarifying the question around, is GMK Space Cadet the best set? So if you're going to compare it to sets last year, Red Samurai definitely comes at number 1 for me. Olivia probably is 2, and then, it's probably Space Cadet is the 3rd slot. I don't know if you'd agree or disagree on that from a GMK perspective, Brian.
I mean, from there, it's all just preference, right? I think they're all very lovely sets, and I really, really like them all. I own Space Cadet now. I own Olivia now. I don't have Red Samurai, but I really like Red Samurai. They're all great sets in my eyes. I've never felt the need to rank them. The only time I ever do is when people are like, which do you like better? And I'm like, well, now I have to think about it because I never cared enough to try to rank them. But I probably like Space Cadet more than Red Samurai and Olivia. But I mean, they're all the same class of set to me. They're all the same like high tier. Like I really want to use this set kind of sets.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah,
I'd agree.
Bug Whisperer says Tarot gets no love. Tarot's really good too. Tarot's a little too colorful for me, but I like it.
I've still not seen Tarot in real life. A friend of mine's going to bring it around in the next couple of weeks. I'll get to see it finally, close and personal. But I've not seen it in real life yet. I've only seen pictures and renders, and it looks different in every picture. So I'm interested to see what Tarot looks like.
Those colors are kind of hard to capture, it seems, for a lot of people, a lot of devices.
Yeah.
Tycho the Builder asking, since you mentioned the Hyper 7, any chance for a round 3?
Oh man, I keep getting asked this, and more people are asking me. There isn't there's kind of a half of a plan to do it in the back of my head. It's just finding the time to do it. It may happen. If it does happen, it probably won't be me that does it manually. I'll probably get a vendor involved and let them run it because I just don't have the time or capacity to do it with Top Clack and work and real life stuff. So leave it with me and I'll see what I can do, but no promises.
Yep.
Blue Noah is asking, did either of us get in on the KOU group buy? I didn't know. I didn't try and get into it, to be honest.
I didn't get into it either, but that's mainly because this thing's heavy. I already have an M60, and I felt that the M60 and the KOU were very, very similar in a lot of ways. And I vastly prefer 60% to 65%, so the M60 was kind of a no-brainer for me over the KOU. If I didn't get the M60, I definitely might have considered the KOU because they are kind of similar. I really like Rama's design language.
Yeah, I agree. I've got the M65A, and that was kind of why I didn't get it. The only difference for me was the blocker and a slight change in the design. So, I didn't. But if I had have done, I would have gone for the tank version, I think. Yep.
Silent Saint with a really interesting question. What keycap sets currently in interest check do you think will be sleeper hits? So
interesting.
The addition of the sleeper hits there makes this question pretty difficult. Because I want to say GMK Deep Space, but I think everyone already knows that's going to do very
It's going to
well.
be massive. Yeah, it's going to be massive.
Like things like that. Hamon is probably going to do relatively well as also.
Yeah.
Oh man.
People are suggesting things like GMK Waves as well. It's already big. It's already a big setup there.
Waves is. I really like Waves actually. Like.
Oh, I do. Yeah,
Waves is really good.
I don't know how to answer this.
I'm actually when I saw it when you were talking about the last question, I was actually on our website looking up in our weekly news section, going through different key sets, trying to find like what I think could be really good.
Okay, interesting.
I think anything cat profile is probably going to be a sleeper hit, in my opinion. Cat profile really just needs to get out there, man. Like, this needs to just go because this is unreasonable. People in the community need to experience cat profile because it is magical for many reasons.
Yeah, well, I'm waiting for you to send me that set so I can try it. So as soon as that arrives, I'll use it.
Actually, kind of embarrassed. I haven't sent this package yet. It's kind of embarrassing. But it's actually this box right here that you see behind you. I just need to tape it up and mail it. I'm a terrible person. All right, I'll tape it up today.
Tomorrow, post.
All right.
Okay. I think if I was going to give the question a serious answer, it's something that hasn't even gone into group buy yet. But I think GMK Achromatic would be my pick of those because I really like the grey colours. I think it's an ABS version of the EPBT slate with some slight tweaks, and I really like that. So I think that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one too. Going through our news section, I'm not really seeing anything else that really stands out. Cat profile definitely for me. I think that's going to be a sleeper. I really think people are going to fall in love with cat profile.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying it. I think. Oh, actually, the other one is that the double shot MT3 set, the first one that ran. I can't remember the name of it now. It began with an S. I think that might look quite good.
Susawatari?
That's the one, yes.
What was that? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be a sleeper hit. Yeah, McMillian says in a few minutes Jay is going to be a sleeper. Abso-freaking-lutely I will be.
Yeah, we're going to be cutting this off. I think we're actually we are caught up on questions anyway, so now's almost caught up. So we'll answer one or two more, then we'll head out. So Sweaty Yeti donates another 250 bits, which is freaking unbelievable. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks, dude. Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, he now has the or maybe has had it for a while, that 10,000 plus cheer badge, which is crazy. Yeah. That is crazy, man.
Yeah, we really appreciate that, man. Thank you for the support. Avid User 2 says, any sets that you used to like but you've now grown bored of?
That's a really good question too.
Can I give a really controversial answer to that?
Yeah, we wouldn't be Top Clock unless you did.
GMK Muted. I used to love it, and now it doesn't excite me anymore. It's muted. Maybe it's because I've used it too much. But I know it's really popular within the community, and I used to love it, and I still use it. It's on the board I'm using right now, but yeah, I'm kind of over it a little bit.
I don't have a list of my sets somewhere. It's kind of like a little bit easier. Man, I don't think so. Honestly, I think like all the sets that I've gotten and owned, like I really enjoy. I tend not to buy things very haphazardly. Like I only try to buy the things that I know I'm gonna enjoy. In my opinion, like isn't really gonna change on them. So all the stuff that I have and use, I like just as much as when I got it. Honestly.
Okay. Have you ever bought something that you didn't like just because you wanted to have it for any reason, even though you didn't like it?
Okay, so I don't make very much money, so my money needs to be allocated like really, really selectively. So I really can't afford to do that usually. I mean, there are spurts where I have a few more dollars than I often usually do, and then I'll just buy whatever. Because I mean, most of the things in this hobby kind of retain most of their value, so you can kind of just sell stuff if you don't like it and not really like lose out on that much money. But but yeah, no, not really. I mean, the last example I think would be like Pulse Round 2. I changed my mind during the group buy. Like I really liked Pulse. I really liked that colorway, and then like, you know, when it was completing, I was like, I don't really like it anymore. And then like I got it in, and I didn't even open it. I just resold it immediately.
Fair. Yeah. Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
So yeah, I mean, I've done that a couple times, but yeah, I generally when I buy stuff, it's stuff that I know that I'm gonna actually enjoy. But
understandable.
Great question.
Really appreciate that. Yeah, both good questions. Yeah.
No. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for the day, guys. We went a little bit over time, but you know that is how
Not
it is.
too bad.
Yeah. We were really hoping to end by 7:30, which was about 45 minutes ago, so that way I can start my build stream at 8, because this is probably going to be a 3-hour stream. So, but anyways, we'll just go into the night. I still have some energy, so you know, we're gonna cut this off, and I will be almost immediately starting a build stream, Topra build stream with my Space Station White brand new Norba Force. It's gonna be really
Nice.
cool stuff. Because I've never
I'll
done
watch the VOD tomorrow.
Yeah, because I haven't actually done a Topra stream at all on Top Clack. I'll be breaking it down for a lot of the people that may not know like how to do a lot of things. We'll be talking about lubing, dome swapping, assembly, disassembly, that kind of stuff. So if any of you are interested in that, make sure you hang around. I'll be posting in the Discord when I'm going live, but I'll probably take like a 15-minute break just to set up my camera and stuff, and then I will be going live again. So make sure to check that out if you still want some keyboard content and you're not ready to go to bed tonight like Jay is. So.
It's this morning. It's 4:15 in the morning for me. And speaking of build streams, if you guys want to check out my Zephyr build stream for my wife, that's going to be on Sunday at 8 p.m. UK time, which is around 12 noon for those of you on the West Coast, and about 2 o'clock in the afternoon for those of you on the East Coast. So yeah, there we go.
Yep, cool. So, guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Of course, we'll be back next week, as always, Thursday, same time, same place for our main show, like this episode here. You can check out our YouTube channel and our official Discord linked down below the stream if you want to join those and hang out with us and check out some more things. And yeah, we appreciate you guys chilling with us.
Absolutely. Thanks very much, guys. Really appreciate that.
All right, so stick around if you want more keyboard content. I'll be coming back momentarily. Until then,